everyone, and welcome to the 31st episode of the No Name Podcast with your regular hosts and a couple less special ones. My name is Mrmoopsy, and introduce yourself, everybody else.
This is Cosmo Jazz. Welcome back, everyone.
I am alive.
I am Iron Man.
I bet I'm Alicia. How's it going? That's it.
No, that cannot be it. This is a special moment.
This is a special moment. You're just gonna introduce yourself all regular.
I don't know, man. I had Iron Man and then nothing go before me. What am I supposed to say now?
You are AliciaxLife. You are better than Iron Man right now at this point because he's not here.
People might actually listen to this episode because you're here.
Okay, I got you.
We're not worthy.
Hi, I'm AliciaxLife. I'm the CEO of Accelerate Gaming. I'm also the official caster for Soul Calibur. And with my 1,000,001 other roles, I actually am now a partial owner of a few other companies as well now. And am delving into 1,000,001 things this year, especially with coronavirus going on. I'm just trying to help out as much as I can. Not only towards the FGC, but towards Bandai Namco as well.
Eddie and I look like shit compared to her.
You speak for yourself, buddy.
Nah, that's true.
Hey, bitch. Listen here. All right.
You can't go around telling the truth.
Look. I'm somewhat okay. All right.
Yeah.
I don't have as many accolades as that, but I can at least say that I am the admin of the Yoshimitsu Discord for both Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur 6.
This is true.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm Venom, and I once beat a sixth Lord in MVC3. That counts somewhat, right?
Nobody cares.
I want everyone to take a moment of silence to just let him sit with that. Okay, just a moment of silence.
Shame.
Yeah, think about what you just said.
All right, Jess, whenever you think that you're good enough to be able to tell us our topics.
Before we get to that, I just want to put that right there for our bullet boy there. All right. So our topics for today are going to be Season 3 of Tekken in review, GameStop troubles and them being possibly shut down in multiple states, an RE3 review, with a Doom review as well, and maybe talking about some of the new characters that just came out. But before we get to that, I would like to do a little bit of interviewing for Alicia, because we're probably not going to get this chance again for a long time.
Hooray.
Well, let me add something to that.
All right.
Let's handle this little interview thing like we normally would. We can ask Alicia a question, and then we answer that question.
Alrighty.
The reason I say that is just for conversation, honestly.
Also, because Baker's ego needs it. He needs to be talking, otherwise he won't be able to survive.
No, I have the reason that I've been so explosive in this particular context is just because I moved into an apartment. So I have my own room, and the only other person in this house is one of my sisters. So because of that, I feel as though I'm able to express myself a bit more freely, which is why I have been practically screaming since we started this.
Understood.
All right.
Now commence this shit.
I mean, you put the format. You started, good sir.
I don't have any questions. I didn't prepare questions for this. That's what you're for.
Damn it.
Fraud!
So anyway, my first question for you, Miss Alicia, is what is it like to be a CEO of a sponsored team?
Oh, Baker, why don't you answer this one first? This is the format of everyone answering the question, dude.
All right, cool. So I'll let you know then. All right. As a CEO, man, let me tell you, it is fucking difficult. All right. You wake up, you go through 24-hour periods with migraines, and for some reason you feel stressed and you feel like crying all the time.
Sounds like an average day.
I mean, yeah, I feel like even if you weren't a CEO, they're just living, you know?
That's my life you just described.
Right. And sometimes you make decisions, I guess, whatever.
Also an average day.
Well, guess what? Nigga? I live like a CEO all the time.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, so to actually answer the question, yeah, it's pretty wild. In particular, when it comes to kind of my daily ins and outs. Before before the coronavirus, it was a lot of the time planning out like which tournaments people were going to, figuring out point systems and who would yield the most points out of going to certain events. And besides all of that, it's just also answering back to like my board of directors and seeing like what's the best option for everyone moving forward. Um, of course, like yeah, I do own majority shares of my company, so I do get to have like executive decision. But at the same time, the board is a group of amazing, wonderful people, and they give a lot of insight, especially other perspectives to decisions that we make as a whole. So it would be a lie to say that it's all like me all the time when I have like such an amazing staff, an amazing board of directors, and amazing players. So they make life a lot easier in general. When it comes to I guess the day by days are a little bit more, I guess, difficult now. Basically, now that I can't even go into like the office that I normally would go into because of the quarantine, I am constantly in work mode. There's not really a time period where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm out of the office. Now it's my downtime. Because whenever I have my downtime, I feel like I still could be working. So I end up overworking myself a lot of the time just because I'm always at home.
Makes sense. Now, a question about your board of directors and whatnot. Are these like normal like friends you've met over time, or just business people you've kind of met throughout adventures you've had or whatever?
So basically neither. What happened was that the
Hmm.
board was selected through my angel investors.
Okay.
They recommended people, and then when after going to not just FGC events, but actually investor events within Canada and in the US as well, they were handpicked from those. There's like people who are already involved who like were part of like the NBA, for example, who retired and so on and so forth. So it's a group of people who've already been successful in multiple fields coming together in the form of esports.
Okay, that makes sense. So with that being said, like it's clear that y'all have already had a pretty good start to everything, if not like really setting in motion for a lot of other things. What would you say would lead to the success of those things so far?
I guess the biggest success for AXL would just be the fact that the talent pool and the staff that we pulled in was something of a higher caliber than we anticipated originally. Because our original like statement plan, our mission statement was that to take online like warriors into the offline scene. But then we picked up incredible talent. We got like Party Wolf. Rich Sticks was still like the pioneer of like our concept, where it was like he was literally an online player who never played an offline tournament. Took him to a majors. His first majors, he made second, and then he has already won a tournament. He's placed eight, like he placed second, I believe, 3 to 4 times now. So if not more. So at the point where it's just a lot of things that I guess we couldn't really have anticipated placings as much as we could have anticipated the road that we would take, and even then it just kept evolving way faster than we expected. A lot of our 1-year goals we already hit within the first 3 months of us launching the company, and from then on out, we just kept taking our 5-year plan and shoving it down further and further to make sure that closer to us, because we just kept hitting goals, and it's been amazing ever since.
Very interesting. Now, well, you said like you saw like players like Party Wolf and others. What drew you to those players other than like maybe say win rates and stuff?
Well, the big thing is that AXL is beyond just just placings. We're more focused about the person as a whole. So when it comes to a lot of talented players, unfortunately sometimes people are robots, and it's sad, but they are either disconnected from their fans, that they're unpersonable. Some of them are the full package, and those ones we love to death as well, right? At the same time, when it came to picking our players, right, they're all very full package kinds of people. Like if you look at Party Wolf, right, he'll take the time to walk you through anything on your character. He will jump into lab even in front of 200 people and teach you something about your character if you ask him to, because at the end of the day, he's really down to earth about that stuff, and he's personable. He does a really good job of promoting his own social medias. He's doing really well on YouTube. It's about taking those full package. That's not just about playing on stage, where he did win LCQ as well, but also that off stage stuff where it's about caring about other people and being a good person in general.
Cool. Can I add something in?
No, feel free.
I think it's more along the lines of how that person would represent the brand, as opposed to What good would somebody who always wins be if they're not personable? What good is what good is having 25 first place wins if nobody wants to be within 10 feet of you?
Basically, if like the person's a jackass.
Yeah, essentially. I was trying to keep it professional. Thanks, Moops.
Always keep counting you, buddy.
I keep it real.
We keep it real
The real
too,
goes
man.
wrong.
I was just trying to match the tone of the interview. But yeah, that's
not our style.
which is exactly why I said I tried.
Because
right?
a regular listener would show up and then ask, "Who are these robots asking questions? Where's Moopsy? Where's Baker?"
Yeah, the absorb.
Yeah. Thanks, Vanilla Swirl. Appreciate you.
Well, we got his new nickname.
I think it's exactly the people that you picked up is exactly why I think you guys' brand has done so well, especially so soon afterwards. It's just because whenever you're around these people, you're doing nothing but essentially just laughing the entire time.
That's facts. That's facts. Yeah, like, and also when it came to like the talent that we pulled in, the one thing that I really like detest about like when it comes to like the esports scene in general is how either white or Asian it is, and there's no black representation at a high skill level, and it was really heartbreaking to see that because as everyone probably knows, I'm half Indian, half Ethiopian. And when it comes to everything, at the end of the day, is that people just see me for being colored, right? And then we have like wonderful people like Fergus, right? Who is ghostier than white is white.
Yo, my man
I was
Fergus
gonna bring
ain't
up
white.
Fergus too.
Fergus ain't even white. Fergus is translucent.
Yeah, it's facts. That's facts. But at the same time, right? It's like you have that, and then you'll have like incredible like colored people on our team too. Like our entire staffing, right? Like our entire staff is actually not a single person's white. And I'm not saying that like, oh yeah, we don't have a white person. Haha. It's like no, I literally oh my god.
It was just your goal. It was your goal from the jump to bring us up a little bit more and erase some of that stigma that may come with us being champions, I guess.
Yeah, that's exactly it. When it came for my staff hiring though, when going through the resumes, I didn't even know what any of them looked like. I just knew them for their talent. And then they happened to all not be white. And I was like, oh shit. And like that's the thing, right? About a lot of the stuff that I do is that I try to go based off of elements that aren't physical attributes. And it's sad because a lot of the time, like when you go into an interview, right? Like the white guy's gonna probably get a better opportunity, especially those settings. And for us is that I just didn't get to see faces. And that was even better about it, is that I got to hire an array of people. And when it came to my players, like, yeah, like I have white people on my team too. It's not like I'm going out of my way to only take on colored people or something. It's nothing like that. It was just the fact that I saw colored people who are mad talented, who should be sponsored and should be picked up. And I was like, okay, if people aren't going to take them, all right, bet I'm about to steal. Like, there's no reason to not take them. It's so dumb. And even worse than that, a lot of them who do get picked up get undersold on contracts because they don't understand their own value because they haven't been valued this entire time.
Yeah, it's hard. It's like I could see that firsthand. It's hard to know how valuable you are when you constantly get told that you aren't the entire time.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to place a true price on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
So when it comes to a lot of these companies, they will definitely prey on that lack of knowledge as well.
That's true, but then you also have like really, really strong other companies as well. Like for example, like we have like Disrupt and Equinox who are collaborating with AXL on AXL online events, stuff like that. And those teams, like in their contracts, really recognize how great it is, like how great it is for people to be pursuing their dreams and take care of them. And those contracts actually protect both the company and the players, as do ours. I guess like the biggest fear I have for a lot of people who do give me their contracts, because the thing is, right, is I have friends who show me their contracts and they're like, hey, can you look this over for me and like tell me if I'm good? And I want everyone to get signed, right? And I don't care if I know you or I don't know you. At the end of the day, the more people who are playing in the professional circuit or can go to more tournaments, the higher yield we can get for sponsorship money, right? So there's never a time of day where I'm like, I'm against this team. It's like, no. Like, we want every team to do well, because otherwise we can't get money into the scene.
Because it's like having a monopoly is a terrible thing, especially right now, because there shouldn't be a superpower for an esport, because they're the ones that's controlling everything. But if everybody's eating, then everybody's eating.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's at the point where, like, yeah, if the FGC ended up blowing up one day like League of Legends did, then yeah, you can have team versus team stuff, right? Because that builds a community and builds an initiative. But the view count's too low and stuff like that for the FGC, and it's great because I do freaking love the grassroots vibe. It's so sick. At the same time, right? People need to get paid. People need to eat. So it's like it's hard to always be super supportive of that side when esports is a necessity for people to survive, especially in this world. When it comes to, I guess, the other elements too, is that there's some companies who give out like 2 to 5 page contracts. And like my biggest advice to anybody who gets a 2 to 5 page contract, never sign it, because they're not taking you seriously. They're going to be giving you a blanket contract that's literally just a bunch of like loose ends and a lot of like really big generalizations to the point where they own your soul, because you can't hash out all the details in a 5-page contract. There's no way.
Damn.
Yeah, it's like oh, what is this last paragraph? My soul is damned to Beelzebub forever. And oh no, that's just some details. Now,
But I get $50. Bet.
Can I just have all I need is your blood to sign the contract.
You make more than $50, we get 100% of that. Fuck that.
Yeah, like, that's basically it. Yeah, it's kind of scary, and like sometimes like the wording's really tricky, to the point where it can be misinterpreted in multiple ways. So even to the point, like if you wanted to go into mediation over it, like you got screwed in your contract and you want to go to mediation versus the team, you can't even properly go about anything because you signed on to it. And since it's so awkward in its intent, you get screwed even further. I don't know. There's just a lot of really, really big issues when it comes to smaller contracts in general. And like that's like one thing I've seen a lot of when it came to not just like this, like there's smaller teams who just don't know how to write contracts yet and stuff like that. And that's fine too. Right? For our contracts, we had a lawyer do it because we have an amazing law team, MKM Group in esports. They're wonderful people. And they were able to hash out every detail we wanted, right? Like we wanted to make sure we protected players, so we protected ourselves. So they gave like grace periods to help people out in case they're going through trying times, like stuff to make sure that we kept it human at the end of the day and protected people as an individual. And you don't see that in contracts that are 2 to 5 pages.
How long would a proper quote unquote contract be?
I guess like a good estimate of a contract. I guess a player contract versus a content creator contract, because they're two vastly different things. So a content creator contract should be like around, I would say, 10 pages. I think ours is about 15, and then a player contract should be hitting around 15 pages. I believe ours goes upwards to like 17, around there. Okay,
that makes sense to me. What is the longest have you? Let me reword that. Damn, I sound like a lawyer. What is the longest contract you've ever experienced? Like you've ever seen?
For esports, I would say the longest one I've ever seen was about a 32, 35 page one. That one involved a house though, like a stream house. They had to move into a stream house.
Okay, that makes sense.
So there's like a lot of rules about just like living in the house together. So that took up a majority of it.
Okay. That's fine. Would this question fall under NDA? I want to ask, say a content creator's contract. What would be 5 things, if you can even answer that? What would 5 rules that they can't break whatsoever?
Well, I guess like I won't go into detail about my own.
Yeah, definitely.
But I guess like in general, when it comes to code of conduct for any team.
Just in general, not necessarily specifics. Actually, never mind. I did want to say specifics.
I bet that you wanted specifics. I know you did.
I wanted specifics because I'm not talking about the obvious. Don't get a 5-star wanted level while living in the house or something like that.
I mean, the big ones, right? Like are just like those are kind of like the 5-star wanted level shit is like, like you can't have sex with underage people, and you can't.
yeah.
be giving
That comes.
I feel like that goes
See,
without
this
saying.
is why. I think that's why I think I asked the question wrong, because that's an obvious one. I meant to say like okay. Let me get specific again. Say a rule is to not disrespect the brand, but what would fall under disrespecting the brand?
So when it comes to, well, that in itself would take up almost like half a page at least, because you go into like different details earlier on in the contract that would discuss like outside of code of conduct, that would talk about brand appreciation. We talk about I guess kind of like tarnishing reputation is also another term that's used as well. So it's like making sure that you don't ever go against the branding.
Right.
But all of that's not really part of code of conduct. It's a little bit of a different, its own standalone thing, where it's like making sure that you don't be a little shit. I mean, I guess like the crazier outliers for a lot of people are like, you do have requirements that you have to hit. Like, for example, if you're supposed to stream a certain amount a month, you're supposed to make X amount of posts relating to the team or the company. Stuff like that. That's actually pretty standard for almost any deal that you get. So similar to like a brand deal in that sense, where it's like you have to do certain things to meet goals and requirements. I guess like a cool, unique one that some teams have, actually myself included in this one, is that you're not allowed to actually like not only like not give a substance to a minor, but you're not allowed to be in the vicinity of that happening. So, for example, if you're like at majors or something, and everyone's chilling out in a room together, and someone's giving alcohol to a minor, you got to get the fuck out of there, because like you cannot be associated with that.
Yeah, that's just in general kind of thing.
Okay, because I think I guess to us, I think that would still fall under the obvious ones. But okay. Here's a good one.
You would think so.
I was surprised about.
No, that actually doesn't surprise me at all. But would there be, say if something like that happened without you knowing, would there be any punishment for that?
I guess it would just be dependent on the team that you're discussing it with. But
right.
When it comes to any team, if you go against the code of conduct, there's always a lot like a discussion after. So usually what happens is that you have your board of directors, then you have subcommittees. So it comes to code of conduct and breaches of that, then it goes to like a subcommittee, and they will discuss about actions that should be taken after. There's always going to be action taken against the player, because there needs to be repercussions for you messing up. I can't say in particular what it would be, because I haven't been through the situation yet.
Right.
And also it'd be up to a whole committee to decide together. But definitely there would be action taken against it.
Okay. Because I ask in the sense of, if an incident was to happen, is there a cookie cutter way that people will handle it, or would you definitely go into the intricacies of what happened to try to get to the bottom of it? Because so say something like that happened, but you as a sponsored player, you were just in the bathroom taking a piss or something. You didn't know what was going on. And then you come out, and then next thing you know, you have a case on your hands.
I think it's one of those things. You could literally catch a case. That's so sad. I mean,
I just want to say it.
You just go to the bathroom, catch a case.
Wrong terminology. But you guys get my point, right?
I'm glad everything caught
that. Everything is cool. You be like, hey, I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. Next thing you know, there's a minor being served alcohol. You're in the bathroom pissing. You don't know what's going on, and then you come out. Yeah, you come out and now shit is
job right now is that like you see that happen, right? Like now you're like, oh shit, you're aware of the situation, and you just gotta walk out. That's all I gotta do. Like as simple as that. Like that's because one, technically you're not in the room of it because you weren't even made aware of the situation. But once you become aware of the situation, like you need to go because you're still able to be protected in the sense of like literally being an idiot towards it, which is totally fine. But like it's about intent, and what you do is follow up. That's really important.
Right.
Because you can never control the actions of other people, but you can control your own actions, which is get the hell out.
Right, which you just immediately disavow it.
And if like the guy's just like a big enough asshole, you know, there's a chance that he might try to drag you down with him.
That's exactly why I asked, because say no, I wouldn't dare put specifics on it, but say some type of collusion happened and it involved you, but it didn't involve you. It was on the collusion was on you, but you were completely innocent of it. Well, would that be handled? How would that be handled? Is kind of
I
my
think
question.
at that point, it would still have to go into like obviously to the board of directors to figure out what the heck even happened.
Right.
Like people who were in the situation would be questioned. Like it'd be just like the people who are bystanders even to figure out what went down, right? And
Right.
at the end of the day, right, is that a person's word means so much, but if the general consensus of everybody who was there is pinned up against the person, that's usually a bad sign. Like there's only so much you can do when you're not physically in the situation.
Right.
Right? Because like unless like if you're hanging out with a room full of people that want to drag you down too, I think you're hanging out in the wrong rooms in the
Yeah.
first place. But at the same time too, right, is that if that situation ever did happen, if you got 20 dudes saying that you did it, that's I don't know, Chief.
chances are you probably did it.
Like yeah.
I do want to add though that like I think it also that kind of adds a little bit to the whole like how you conduct yourself around situations, because it could be like a whole thing of like 20 dudes are saying this, but if you're like known as a really good person, you know, you might have a better of like a fighting chance to say like I didn't do that shit.
I mean, yeah, especially if you leave as soon as you're made aware of it, like what can they really do about that? Like I mean, the easiest way to deal with that is just to be like, cool, it's this time. I left at this like X amount of time. Go ahead somewhere else.
Right.
You're like, cool. Hey, look at our time right now. That's pretty wild. I'm right here. And there you go. You just have a confirmed person who can be your alibi for not being there, and you literally left. Like, how could someone pull you into something that you're literally not there for?
I guess not in the realm of esports, but say something has happened to me while I was at work that didn't happen.
What the fuck is this podcast?
Look, I'm not gonna say no shit like, all right.
We have
like,
the No Name podcast and not condone what just happened. No.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's nothing like that. It's just that I was a victim of a collusion, right? And no matter what despite me being innocent, nothing I said could have made me innocent. Just because the people that were doing that was in a position above me. So it's like, how could I possibly, like, what if something like that were to happen? How would that be handled by any team, really?
Okay, so someone who's above you,
position wise, because what I'm talking about is retail. I'm not talking about esports.
Like that's the thing, though, right? If someone in a position above you was doing something that was against, like, the code of conduct,
yeah,
then it would be your job to report them before they report you.
Okay,
that'd be your objective at that point. Because like I know like snitching's shitty, but like if you're in a professional environment, snitch, bro. Like protect yourself. You're trying to make bank. That's ridiculous, you know.
You might even get their spot.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, Mopsy got no chill. Mopsy be like, listen, anything to get to the almighty dollar, man. I mean, fuck him. We got 3 kids at home. Fuck them.
Mr. Wolf on Wall Street over here.
Just like Moopsy is pulling out his inner Michael Jordan right now. Just like, yo,
fuck them kids.
To the hashtag, not my kids, so fuck them kids.
I mean, they are.
Okay, because I think I pretty much got it now. Because you know, all of this was to go around to the point where say if something even remotely questionable was to happen to one of your members, how would you handle it?
Yeah, I mean, like if something questionable happened to one of my players, I mean repercussions every day,
Right.
every time, right? Because for me, like even on a personal level, is that I believe in accountability, and if someone misbehaves, they need to be held accountable no matter what. And the good thing about my players is that all of them just aren't that kind of personality. But if they did find themselves in that situation, they know like deep down the first thing that they would do is come to me and tell me and like fess up to what they did to get something done about it, because they aren't the kind of people to hold on to something and be snakes about it.
Right.
They're more the kind that want to deal with it head on and know what they can do to either reprimand for it or to be treated for their actions that they committed. And that's the thing, though, right? Is that they're just not those kinds of people, which is why they're signed even in the first place. But in the off chance that some of them went batshit crazy for no reason, yeah, you know.
All right. So meme question.
Oh boy.
Incoming meme.
Yeah, incoming meme. All right, one of your players got reported for trying to go Super Saiyan in a Diddy's. What do you do?
Try to go Super Saiyan what?
In a Denny's.
In a Denny's?
That's right.
Why a Denny's?
Answer the question, please.
That's disruptive behavior. They have actually repercussions put against them because that's disruptive behavior. What the fuck they doing? And then goddamn Denny's at 3 a.m. Drunk ass motherfuckers. Goddamn, eat your eggs and shut up. Like,
All right. Hold up now. You added 3 a.m. today.
I love that she added that though.
Just made it more in context for me.
I didn't even specify it.
That's all I got for that. Fuck you, me.
All right, okay.
Trust me, there's a lot of weird things that happen at 3 a.m. at a Denny's.
Not even a Waffle House.
No, not a Waffle House. We are people of standards in this podcast.
Listen, no, my team is not. Listen, we all colored as fuck. We all go to Waffle House because my niggas go to Waffle House. Okay, they don't want to go to no Denny's.
Yeah, and that's what the chat's saying anyway.
Yeah, that's Rich. Rich is a part of the team. He knows. Every time we try to go somewhere at like 3 a.m., what do? We go get fucking Waffle House because
I respect it.
it's because Boom and Rich every time go, I want to get that bowl. I'm going to get that scrambled egg, bro. Like, no, we're going. And I'm like, what the fuck? Can we go to like an IHOP? But they're like, we're not getting pancakes, Alicia. We're getting Waffle House. Like, fine.
Waffle House does not close. They have like
They
that kind of
literally
standard.
They don't
It's like-
close at all.
It's like that meme where it's like, Mom, can we go to the Waffle House? And it's like, we have the Waffle House at home, and it's the Denny's, and it's like, oh.
Damn. I feel like I should tweet that. Imagine you being compared to Waffle House and your Denny's.
I guess it's a bad time to mention our new sponsor, Denny's.
Denny's, we have food.
I would hope so. No, do you have anything else already? Because I did want to get to another thing for her.
Sorry, no, I'm good.
But another question I had, because like you said, you're doing commentary and stuff. What made you go into that per se? And I know you'd like to do Soul Calibur. Are there any other games you would like to do?
Well, I did do DOA. I did their world tour.
That's
for
true.
One of their major
That
events.
is true.
I also announced their season 2 pass.
Can we also get an F in chat for DOA, please?
That's not.
You know what, man? DOA would have gotten an F in the chat if they represented core values.
This is true.
But because
I
don't,
mean, they did. That's the thing, was that it wasn't them that. Y'all
we know.
get educated, bro. Like, come on,
know.
make the meme know the reference. Come on. Like,
Let me
'cause
meme in peace.
No.
You even not backed by facts. Bro, come on. What happened was DOA did put the display on. They even had two cam models who slapped each other's ass and titties on stage. They did all that shit. And then what happened was that when they had the screenshot of like one of the characters eating another character's coochie, right? On stream, it wasn't them who said core values and shut it down. It was Mr. Wiz. Mr. Wiz put out a tweet saying that doesn't represent the core values of Evo.
I know. I'm memeing Mr. Wiz.
Man, you just said DOA. Shut your ass up. They all about core values. They've been putting down DOA Extreme 3 forever, man. Come on.
That has got nothing.
You can literally take pictures of people's titties in that game. Like, it's a whole intent. Is one mode in the game is going to the beach and taking pictures of the coochie. Like, that's the whole point.
I mean, it's not like I own the game or nothing.
It's just my expression throughout the entire thing.
I mean, it's like, I mean, I do. It's like, I mean, I do own the game, but it's my friends.
I swear, it's my friend. It's not mine. I don't know
my
where
copy.
Bro. It's
not my copy. It's Jazz's copy. Come on.
Your mom finds porn in your room, like, sees the porno under the bed and just like, it's not mine. It's Tim's down the street. It's not mine.
He just hasn't asked for it back in a while.
Yeah, that's all it is. Why are the pages stuck together, dude? Like, no, I don't know.
Ooh.
Tim's weird, man. I don't know. Maybe put some glue on it. I don't know.
Like, look, dog. I can explain. Really? Explain the receipt that has your credit card information on it. Oh shit. Okay.
If you're 5 steps ahead, though, you ask, "How do you know my credit card numbers?" And then you attack from there.
Right.
The better question is, why are you a grown-ass person with a credit card and not moved out of your parents' house yet? They still looking at your statements, bro? Like, that's even more questionable.
I'm just waiting for my credit score to improve so I can move out.
That was too specific.
It's words.
Rich, I don't know what you're talking about.
I plead the fifth.
I'll have you know I'm completely innocent. It was never my copy to begin with. That is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. All right. We're good.
I forgot
But
the
then
question.
it's
Oh
like-
yeah, we talked about it. Was I'm so sorry. I forgot the question. 'Cause
I'm
it's
fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
shit.
This is
Rest of the
perfectly
shit
fine.
right here.
This is normal.
Yeah, this happens more than you think.
Like what?
Like, oh,
This
let me
is
shoot Baker real quick, and then I'll go on to the question. Yeah, for casting, like, yeah, it was really sick. I got to cast for a few challenger events for Tekken for top 8 and stuff. I guess like the coolest experiences I had casting was not only in VSF in the UK, which was like back-to-back top 8s for DOA and Caliber. Would have been like Texas Showdown, which was like back-to-back Tekken and Caliber top 8. Which was also really sick of them. They just took such good care of me. They even delayed their top 8 for Tekken because the Caliber time ran over, and instead of just like throwing another commentator on or something, they were just like, no, we'll wait up for Alicia. Wait 30 minutes. Like, we'll start later.
That's
And that was pretty dope of them.
that's actually real kind of him.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, yeah, they could have totally replaced me. Like, they had James Chen there. Like, they could have replaced me, but they were like, no, like, wait it out. And that was really sick of them. Casting top 8 at Evo was something I never expected to do in my lifetime, and to do that shattered my world. And I feel like asking for anything beyond what I've already been given is just too much. So there's nothing really in particular where it's like, oh man, I really wish I could do this game. I really wish I could do blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I'm just really thankful for what I've had so far. And I worked really hard to get here. And anything else that I get on top of that is just the cherry on top.
Right. So for you already went past your Final Fantasy. So now you're just chilling.
Boo! Take it back.
Who is this man?
Can we kick him? Yikes.
Unfortunately, I'm here to stay.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
We can collectively mute him.
Where's
Oh,
the
that works.
button?
What good would that do any of y'all? That wouldn't do y'all any good.
He's right though.
I know, man, but you can go check out Timmy's porno under your bed after that, and it's up to you.
Damn.
We
got time to
dropped
kill
that.
after.
We dropped that subject a long ass time.
Y'all ever hear a full circle, baby? That's what that was.
I did nothing wrong.
You hate to see it.
It's not my copy.
Oh, shit. It really be your own out here, bro.
You must be new here.
Hi, welcome to the No Name Podcast.
This-
This is Joe out here.
This may as well be a battle royale podcast because everybody is just trying to kill everybody to be at the top right now. And I don't like it. I love it.
Feels like home.
It feels exactly like home.
Yep.
But wait, hold on, Alicia. I think Jazz had a question for you, and I don't think I heard the answer. What made you get into commentating in particular?
Yeah. I guess like one of the things is I really loved sharing the backstories of players on an individual level. And when I first started out, people who don't know me for long, like who only met me within the past like 2 years, only got to see the changed me. But Cuddle is the person who actually saw me back when I was shy as hell. So I've been in the scene for quite a while. But the problem is that I was a fly on the wall. And I would literally physically hide behind people all the time at events. And I was too nervous to ever say hi to people. I was really, really antisocial. And Cuddle remembers all of that because she'd be like, Alicia, say something. And I'm like, like, it was bad. Like, I just couldn't talk for the life of me. And one thing I did love, though, is that I hung out with so many amazing players and they had such cool backstories. And I wanted to share that more. And I feel like it wasn't represented enough. And when the opportunity of Canada Cup came around, I casted my locals and stuff, which was really cool. And I had a lot of fun. When it came to that Canada Cup coming up, though, in 2018, I believe, or was it 2017? Maybe one or the other. I can't remember which one it was.
And a flashback.
I got to commentate, and it was incredible. And I remember feeling like, I mean, back then I was analytic. Actually, I wasn't even color back then because I just was like a little robot who barely spoke. And
You sound like me.
yeah, I mean, now I'm like really busted in my shell, so it's cool. Like maybe what the first original thing was that I wanted to, one, be more expressive, and two, I wanted to represent people. I wanted to show their backstories and talk about what made them happy, what they were passionate about. Which came with its hardships for sure. With people who feel entitled. Like, man, I don't know how many times I can tell you that I've had a white dude be like, Alicia shouldn't be on there. It should be me. And I'm like, the fuck did you, what have you done? Like, what work have you put in besides thinking that you deserve this over me?
You can bust out like list of accomplishments on them, and they got like nothing, like not even a little note card.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like I had one. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. So that sounds a lot like a certain someone we know, a Filipino champ.
Oh shit! I thought you was talking about one of us, nigga. Damn.
I thought too. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Do I have to shoot you too?
like, damn! I thought you was coming after one of us. I'm like, what is it? Me?
Mrmoopsy. No.
Too easy a target.
Yeah, I mean, I had a weird situation where, like, I won't name drop the person, but like, basically one of my like white friends didn't get a commentary spot at all for one of the majors that I casted at, not even a pool slot. And he was like, "Hey, if you get accepted, call me." Right? So I called him. I was like, "Hey, I got it. Blah blah. Just got the email." And he goes like, "Yeah, I just got the rejection one." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just like I'm so sorry for you. Blah blah blah. But like, you know what? Let's get the next one together. Blah blah blah. Like, you know what? Like, there's a bunch of tournament season. Like, there's so many tournaments coming up. Like, you got to get one of them. Someone's gonna throw you on some goddamn pools. Like, we got this, right? Like, I'll help you build a reel. We'll do whatever." And he was just like, "I can't believe you got it over me." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Why you?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And like, instead of it being like a friend who like, you know, because I understand if you're going through some shit and you say something that's offbeat, because like some people do that. Like we all mess up. We're all human. Sometimes we say stuff that's like actually fucked up. And it went further than that. So I was like taken aback. So I got silent. And then he goes, "I'm just gonna fucking kill myself." And he started to go off about that. Then how he wanted to kill himself because if he doesn't want to live in a world where I can get an opportunity over him. And he was my friend.
What?
Like, and from then on, like I cried so hard after that because like to have even your friends like feel like they have to go against you to get an opportunity was like an experience I'm not used to.
Right.
This ain't Daddy's talk anymore.
Yeah, this ain't Daddy's talk no more. Like it's crazy. And like I had people who would be like super nice. Like I had like one dude in particular who's so nice to my face, right? Who like when I was at Evo was complimenting me over and over again, right? Just to find out that when it was like nighttime and he was in one of the casuals rooms, he was talking the biggest shit of his life about me. And like was going off like if she didn't have a fucking pussy, she wouldn't be on there. And like stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, dude, like I don't understand what makes people feel so like when they're like, and like I'm gonna be flat with you, like it's like white entitlement, it's white male entitlement where they just aren't used to not getting something over a colored woman. And then what can they do besides working on their own craft? Like, listen, I know that there's always improvement for me. So every time I always try to improve the next time I get on the mic. And sometimes I mess up, sometimes I get better. Like it just happens, right? But for them, they don't evolve because they're so focused on getting mad about everyone else's opportunity instead of focusing on how they can get better. So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day is that, yeah, it started off with me being like, yeah, I'm going to like help tell people's backstories. And I had to deal with a lot of bullshit. But at the end of the day, what mattered to me the most out of anything was giving the people who are on stage a moment to shine. And that mattered to me more than anything else. Like, listen, if I don't cast a top 8 or something, or if I'm casting a pools, I'm still going to take the time to like research the people who want me to cast for, because what matters to me the most is being like, hey, that's their moment to shine. Like y'all, like if you see me cast, like for example, Frosty, like 2020, which is like the last tournament I casted before everything went down. Was that like every person who walked up on stage, right, gave their backstory, talked about who they are, talked about who they main. When they start playing, I talk about things that they do off of the tournament circuit. Where I'm like, hey, this guy was practicing this on the stream the other day, blah blah blah. Now you implemented that. That's crazy, right? He literally just labbed that last week. Like I can talk about that stuff because I give that extra fuck beyond everything else, right? Where it's like not just about that moment, where it's not just cast by cast or play by play, which is also sick. It's a cool type of commentary, but it's so much more than that because it's giving that person the moment that they deserved, that they've spent all their money to get there for, and to sell that short is just really shitty.
So it's like you literally gave a fuck to that person.
It's along the lines of you're going the extra mile to get that person over, so to speak.
Yeah, because a lot of the time for those players too is that like some of them aren't sponsored, especially in Caliber. A lot of people aren't sponsored, so it's like you need to like shill hard for them. so people can notice them, put respect on the name, and also help them build their own traction. They got streams they want to pull up, right? So when they're going to offline events and spending that money, they want to at least get a boost in viewership, get a boost in their stream. You got to help them out. And then even beyond all that too, is that like you got like it's so frustrating too, because you get sometimes people who like for example, there's people who I beef with in the scene, right? Only 2 people. My list isn't long. 2 people who I don't like in the scene. That's it. And they're generally hated by everybody. What do I do when they walk on stage? I don't talk about that at all. I talk about if they made a great play. I'll review some of the stuff they did. I'll talk about what characters they play. I will not bring up anything to do with that beef. Because in that environment and in that setting, it's no longer about me and them. We are no longer like ourselves. He is a player, I'm a caster. So that shit walks out the door. If he tries to talk to me after that, I just swear to God, I'm throw hands. But like, listen, while you're on stage, it's different. Like,
it's strictly business when you're up on the stage.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, that professionalism is really valued.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like he tries to talk to you and compliment you, and you're just like, bam!
Like that fucking Johnny Cage nut shot, bam, with the splits.
Yeah.
Miss me with that shit. I don't need a bow.
That makes perfect sense to me. Being able to keep it strictly business like that is it's 2020, man. Like people don't do that shit no more.
That's true. That's true. I mean, like recently, like I called out like one person who was wilding out on like Twitter, but like besides that, it's like, man, like there's no reason to like. I mean, and even in person though, the weirdest part was like this person. Like I'll talk a little bit about the situation. It's like, there's a player named Mrmoopsy who says stuff that's really, really abrasive.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. I thought, okay, I think at least Jazz and I know about that.
Yeah.
I haven't been in the fighting game community that much now to know.
Yeah, basically it's just like wilding out, saying really messed up stuff, right? And there's never repercussions for his actions. And rather than just like kind of like ignoring it like we always do, I quote retweeted it and I was like, if you follow him, like, and the weirdest part was that like as soon as he tweeted that, I went to his profile and I'm like, how many views is he gonna? How many eyeballs are gonna see this? Right? I was just curious. I don't follow him. So how many eyeballs are gonna see this? So I open up his profile and I go to like people who follow him, right? Like followers. And I'm like, I see people who I know who follow me. And I'm like, oh fuck no. Oh fuck no. Don't you dare follow me if you follow him. Like there's no. Like I'm cool with people being friends with people who I don't like. That's one thing. But if you got someone's like literally saying black people don't got income and they can't get jobs or educations, like don't fucking talk to me. I don't want you near me. Like so I was like, so I put the quote retweet where it's like, if you follow him, unfollow me. I don't want you in my community. Like that was it, right? And then things blew up. Tournaments were messaging me saying, hey, like, is there anything else that he's done that's like been outspoken, blah blah blah, like what's going on in the situation? And I was like, shit, like I didn't mean like my intent was never to really start a movement. It was more just so to be like, because now we have a whole like people are held accountable for their actions movement going on, which is I fuck with heavy. But that was not my intent when I did it. It was just the fact that like I wanted people to stop giving this dude clout for being terrible. Like that's just not something we should do. And I get that. And like that's the worst part was that him and I talked in person before, and he's really nice to me in person. And in person, he was just like, oh yeah, like I don't believe half the shit I say. I just say it for shock value. I'm like, why? Like why do you do that? And he's like, well,
that's like wrestling kayfabe.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing though, right? It was like that was his whole mentality. Was this, he was like, well, like I want to be put as like the villain, so I get more like all clout is clout. I would put myself as the villain, and then I get more clout. And I'm like, no, that breeds a terrible environment in the community. Like that's not what you do. And he goes, well, you know what? Like it is what it is, and that's what I choose to do. And I was like whatever.
I get what he means, but I think he went about it the wrong way.
I think there's a difference between putting yourself as like a villain and being like edgy and stuff versus being flat out like homophobic. Like, he's targeting protected classes, right? You can't be. That's harassment. Like,
I was about to say it's like yeah. Tell yourself that when like one of your fans goes to like extreme measures and does something terrible because he followed your philosophy.
Like real notice me senpai kind of shit.
Yeah.
One day Jazz will notice me.
I will never.
In fact, who are you?
No, Yeah, the thing about Oathmatic is he's been told about this so many times before to stop. So this is bound to happen eventually. Thankfully, you were the trigger for this to happen. I'm sorry to say he needs the reality check.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing though, right? It's like I'm cool with people having their own opinions, but like, don't shit on protected classes. Like I don't know how much easier it is to say. Like there's a reason why it's a protected class because by law you literally can't fuck with that shit. Like it's messed up. So like, what are you doing? That's not freedom of speech no more. That's literally harassing.
It's not even memeing at that point.
Yeah, that's why I hate when like people say like, "Oh, it's freedom of speech" and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, when you solicit hate, that's not freedom of speech.
I hate that.
Stops.
Oh, go ahead.
That stops being freedom of speech and just hatred now.
Yeah, because I hate that, and I hate the whole it's just a personality bullshit. Because like it's almost like you're going out of your way to use like the worst fucking terms about that kind of shit. And like from what I heard, because I'm fairly new to Twitter, and from what I'd heard is like those like he was using some real like fucking like some real negative talk, like going
That's
into
one way to put it.
yeah. It's some real fucking bullshit where it's like, oh, like these people do this, and it's like, dude, that's fucking like you're quoting something.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like when it comes to like freedom of speech and stuff like that too, in online, was that a big thing that started to really come into play was rather recently, was the moderation of Twitch chat during esports events, especially during FGC esports events, right? So, like one thing I've talked about openly on my stream before, which maybe some of you guys have heard me talk about it. I don't know. I don't really bring it up too often, unless someone does bring it up. Is like the amount of death threats and rape threats I get per time I cast, which is unconventionally high. To the point where I had somebody make the rape comment to me in person at Combo Breaker. And like my brain was just like, okay, are we gonna cry at this person or what are we gonna do? Like, how do we get the fuck out of here or get them banned? Because I don't want to be around this. But like your brain can't even function with that because someone literally just like basically threatened to rape you to your face. What do you do? Like, what do you do? You can't do anything. And it's like it's so bad in Twitch chat now, especially when a female walks up on stage, that like the first thing I always get is like, yo, fat trans, like N-word with a hard R, like blah, blah, blah. Like, first off, not trans, like, right? Like, born a female genitalia, all that good stuff, even if it didn't, fuck you. But it's just incorrect. 2, calling me the N-word, I don't know what year you live in, dude. Shut the fuck up, right? Like, I don't understand why that's trying to be used as an insult. Fuck you. 3, I'm chubby and I love it. Fuck you, right? So it's like the weirdest thing that, like, we get this kind of crap going on in chat.
Well, it's like it's like that main basic kind of comment too, where it's like, oh, what you doing on stage? You should be in the kitchen, kind of shit.
I mean, even then, it's like that's just people being shitty. Like that's that's the thing, right? Is if someone said that, I'd be like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'll make you a sandwich and cook you in the game. Fuck you. Like get in the kitchen too. Like right? There's a but like it's hard when someone just says flat out bullshit when it's actually against your protected class, and it's like, what the fuck do you do against that, right? And the thing is that there's not enough moderation when it comes into those parts, and it does get a lot, and people DM you and act crazy and psycho as shit. And then the counter argument, I didn't even think there was a counter argument to this when I was talking about stricter chats, was that people were like, freedom of speech, and I'm like, I don't think y'all know how that works. Freedom of speech is like, yeah, there is freedom of speech. Doesn't mean that there's not freedom of consequences.
Yep.
Like, you're gonna say the N-word with a hard R at me, like, bitch, you gonna get shut down. Like, that's just how it works. Like, that's facts.
Like, technically, he said it. Nobody was stopping him from saying it, but
exactly.
The follow-up
but there's repercussions. Yeah. Wildin'.
Straight
it's
up,
like freedom of speech. Well, freedom of getting these hands.
That's facts. Actually, that's not even wrong. Tell him, Vanilla Swirl. Tell him.
I like Venom's new nickname.
It's always the pool drowners that'll say some shit like that too.
Yeah.
Online pools, offline pools, just always the worst people.
I mean, even then, right? Like, I had like 2 people at Combo Breaker who were supposed to play a set with me because like they were being bitches, going hella off in my DMs, being like blah 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 blah, don't know the game, whatever, right? I'm like, cool. all right, what's your next event? You tell me what your next event is, and I will be there. Right there, and both of them said Combo Breaker. I was like, cool, 24-hour venue. You let me know when you in there. I'm gonna play you. I don't care if I have something else going on. You tell me, right? So one dude thinking it was like 2 a.m. He thought I wasn't there. Messages me, goes, "Hey, I'm ready." I'm like, sick. I'm by the setups, and he's like, "Oh, I had to actually head out." I'm like, "You said it 2 minutes ago."
It would have been funny if you said like you were like, standing right behind him,
All right, like,
like raging
like
demon
freaking-
him.
Yeah, like Batman.
I know.
It be like that sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta put people in their place.
Like you type out as like, "Okay, I'm ready," and you're like, say it in your out loud voice. It's like, "Okay, I'm ready too." Shit.
yep. So that's what happened. And then people and that's the thing, right? A lot of the time when people say really shitty things like that, they just duck. And like that's the thing, right? Is if I lose that in that set, the most you're gonna learn from that set though versus me is like, oh shit, she actually doesn't know the game, right? That's the thing though, is anytime anyone has ever called me out, I've always beaten them in the set. So now it's like this confusing mentality of like, I'm nice. I'm nice at the game. I'm not pro level, but I'm nice, right? So it's like the average Joe, yeah, I'm gonna cook them. That's just facts. But like the thing is that the average Joe and below, usually below, are the ones that are talking the
Normally
most
below.
shit. So I'm
Talking
just
about
like,
shit.
yeah, I'm like, show up. Fucking show up. Pay the money and show up. And then try something. Like you can't.
Well, I feel like those are the guys that are like, they're like, oh my god, I'm so good at fighting games. I beat my friends all the time. I could fucking do this shit. And
I
then
hate those dudes.
when they get body, that's when they just start like, oh, that's not fair. They're using a broken ass character and shit. And the light was in my
Some kind of
eyes.
excuse.
Someone's using like
Oh.
Gigas and they're like, oh man, broken character. Like, shut your ass up.
Oh, Jazz, I got a story. You might like it because this was around like season 1-ish of Tekken.
We don't talk about that, man. Why you
not-
gotta bring that up?
Because
We're having a nice
assure-
conversation.
I assure you, you're gonna love it because it's happened before.
No, already.
All right, so I was actively playing Tekken a lot. Dazzling had invited me to a lobby with his friends, and they was all talking hot shit to me.
Hmm.
The very first dude was sitting there calling me garbage because I picked Kazuya that game, and then I hit him with the 5 electric combo, and then I got kicked.
No, you can't do that. That's so stupid.
Wait, they kicked you while the match was still going on?
No, they kicked me out of the party, and after I ran the lobby for a bit.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up, yeah, but hey, people talk shit, and sometimes they get hit.
The funniest way to get back at somebody is when you hit them right in the ego, because it's like, I can't defend myself there.
Oh,
Wait,
wait.
I don't think
Go
I don't think they knew that I was a Yoshimitsu main either.
Hmm.
Imagine if you
Oh.
told
Yoshi
that though.
character, like super Yoshi needed buff so bad, dude. Season 1, so that's even worse, man. They just don't know the game.
In which game? In which game?
Are we talking about Tekken?
Yeah,
I'm talking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tekken. Yoshi was shit in season 1. I don't know what crack you smoking.
Mm,
They need to buff his ass so bad. The only reason you can get away with stuff is if people just didn't understand how to play against him. His distancing and pushback was so bad that you would have flashing whiffing on range 1 / range like 0 when you're in that comfort zone. No sword stance flash should hit at range 1, but it didn't.
it totally
So
did. But we made it work somehow.
Yoshi main mentality.
We did it.
So
right.
wait, does this mean Anna is like the new season 1 Yoshimitsu now?
What? No, because that would imply
Anna's literally a walking
Yoshimitsu.
50-50.
Yeah, like that would imply Yoshimitsu's bad, and he isn't in neither game because Gigas exist.
Gigas.
Love my Ninja Gigas, man.
All
Gigas
flashes
is.
hit at range -1 in caliber, dude. They could be in their asshole and flash the limit. Like it's brutal.
Yeah, Rich. Yeah, Rich. You're right. You're right about
They could be
that.
sucking their dick and they still flash the limit.
I tried the meter burn flash somebody, and it did not work. I just bashed my head on the fucking desk. Actually, Jazz, I think it was against you.
Yeah, it was against me.
Cue the PTSD.
Nah, so I just went in the soul charge, went in the super helicopter, then suicided my way down like a mortar. And that's what makes Yoshimitsu the greatest character of all time. If you can't win, you meme and you have fun.
Oh yeah, and for context of why I say we don't talk about season 1 is because none of my old mains were in the game at the time.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
You're all right. You're fine.
Now I am.
Yeah, now you are.
Because my mains are in the game.
You're good, man.
Yeah,
You're good.
his second favorite's in there.
Because you have my second favorites in there.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. But no.
Talk about the fact that your first favorite's not in there.
Let's not go there, shall we?
It's not like you're depressed, dog. Come on.
Let's
You know what?
not go there.
They keep me around to keep the situation worse.
Fine. I'll drop it this time. Cool. Next time, no.
I got you, fam. There was one other. Oh yeah, because of recently where you came out as gender fluid, I was going to ask: do you have any possible advice for anyone else who might be trying to do the same, or anything around that as well?
I guess like the biggest thing would just be like, be true to yourself. I mean, the craziest part about it all for me was the fact that when it came to people who were super close to me and have known me this entire time, after I came out, they were like, duh. And I'm like, what? And they're like, Alicia, nothing's gonna change. You've been this the entire time. You just didn't put a label on it. And I'm like, oh. And then like my best friend, like he instantly is just like, am I supposed to comment on this? Because I feel like we already all knew. And my sister, when she found out, she was like, okay, like, yeah, I've known that since you were like 10. And I'm like, oh. And like, even when it came to like my partner, he was like, it changes nothing because you've been this the entire time. Like, it's not a big deal. And then one of my players, actually, Boom, we were having a meeting. And at the end of the meeting, he's just like, oh, by the way, like, I didn't comment on your post, but I just DM'd you saying I'm proud of you. But in reality, I was going to comment, oh, the sky is blue? Damn. Right? Like, it's something we all saw. Like, holy fuck. And it was just like such a massive weight off my chest. But at the same time, like, a lot of the time, like, you should never have to hide who you are. And I never really hid who I am. It's just the fact that I never really came out about it. And it's just like the kind of beautiful moment where I really wish I saw other people doing it more. And then people were. Everyone started coming out on that same day. And I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. Let's all do it together. Like, it's
the only other person that I knew came out was Miles McKenzie. And even then, my reaction to it was, it's the same, but in a way, it's memey in a way. Because it's like if I was running a set against you, Alicia, right? And you came out as gender fluid, right? I'd be like, so what, nigga? You still gonna get these hands?
That's my answer to anything. So I don't care what you are. You're getting these hands.
so what? I'm still bodying you in this set. This ain't gonna change nothing.
You can still catch these hands.
And then I proceed to get 0-5, but whatever. That's not.
Exactly. We don't talk about that last part.
So catch these hands. My hands all trying to clean up my wounds. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get cut like this. They got burns. Oh, Mom, get the aloe.
Like, you still gonna catch this set? Then I just woke up. The hell happened to me?
Dude, she got a god match on you. You good? Where are we? What's happening?
2021 yet?
I just start sweating and shit. Just like, oh, I don't think I'm making, guys.
It's like there's a point where Baker's playing and then like he beats her and he's like, yeah, I'm the greatest, and then like in reality he's on the floor just like, I'm the greatest.
I just mumbling to himself.
Now the way I'd set it up is it'd be the grand finals. It's 2-1 and I'm losing.
Wait a second.
I win that
Bigger
second
joke
round.
about that? I'm sorry. The biggest joke about that whole thing was you been in grand finals. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. All right. But let me at least let me indulge on the fantasy here real quick. All right. Let me have this moment. This is my moment to shine. I thought it was all business when we was on the stage. What happened? Why are you doing this to me? I thought we
Ain't
were
no
better.
stage no more, boy. I'm sitting at home in my chair, bro. Like,
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm gonna do that thing where I win the second round and there's one more round, but I'd put the controller down and I'm up and I'm celebrating. Then Alicia just bodies the shit out of me. Then I just go down and I just cry myself to sleep for like a week straight.
Or you be like that one guy where you beat her one round, but you think you won the match, but then you see that there was a second round, and you're like, "Oh shit!"
My nigga, I just said that.
The Guilty Gear situation.
I did it! Oh no!
And she's already got like a 60 hit combo off you.
I just click your ass in an infinite, just fuck you. Fuck you, fuck your family, fuck your dog, fuck your dog's house. Like, nah, dude.
And then I go down as the living joke of Caliber.
Another person, by the way, who also came out with Sarah Blast. So there's quite a few people who came out that same day, which is pretty dope. And I think in general, like, I mean, I think the funniest part for me in the whole experience is like my sister actually was that when I hit her up and I came out to her, she was like, "Bitch, you already came out before." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh, this is different." She goes, "Man, how many things you got going on?" And she read it. And she's like, "Oh," and she goes, "I get it. So like, you literally give no fucks about gender in general." I'm like, kind of, yeah. It's like, for those of you who don't know, I'm pansexual, which is basically where like it doesn't matter what gender, what the fuck you are, I can still like you. It doesn't matter. So like if someone's trans, like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. If someone's like a dude or a chick, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it matters. And then now when it comes to my gender, like when it comes to my gender now, it's like kind of the same vibe. It's like, oh, okay, I'm whatever. Like, switches each day. So like whatever I feel like the most that day. And yeah, so my sister's like, "Wow, you're the most woke shit of 2020." I'm like, yeah.
That was cool. But do y'all have anything else y'all want to ask her?
No, I think I've embarrassed myself enough for right now. It's on cooldown.
Fair. No,
there's
fair
still
enough.
more short of that.
Yeah. Baker's in that state in the fighting game where he's just like, oh.
Homie, you making sex sounds?
No, that's what I said. That sounded
He
nasty.
said, "Pow,
Nasty.
I don't even know what to make of this podcast anymore. It's like, I don't know, y'all.
No, yeah, I guess we can move on to the other topics then.
Holy shit. This was still the very first subject. God damn.
I am okay with this because the rest of these are probably going to be very fast.
It's
done this before.
It's all content at the end of the day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Ganryu, Leroy, Fukuram. Pretty good. Next.
All right. No. Next up is basically season 3 of Tekken in Review. I'm actually going to ask Alicia on this one. What are your thoughts on both Leroy and Fukuram?
I think Leroy's still like top 3. Like, he's still really solid. When it comes to Fukuram, I think his damage output is super high, but at the same time, it's too early. It's just too early. Like, they still need to adjust the shit out of the character, right? Like, no one can really be solid about him and be like, "Oh, this is flat out what he is," until they do their first adjustment. Like, we all saw every single new DLC character on release. They're always fucked up somehow. And he is a fine example of that. Like, he's a little bit fucked up right now, but it's not like he's as bad as Leroy on release, or as bad as some other people on release, or as bad as Jack in season 1. Like, we're not going through actual suffering. We're going through a little bit of suffering, but like, it's not like as bad as people make it out to be yet. But first adjustment patch is where we have to actually wait to see if we can actually talk about it more.
Oh, that's a step in the right direction when like he's out and he's not the most busted thing out there right now.
Yeah, that's actually pretty damn accurate. Yeah,
I think I would rather it be this way. I would rather a character come out usable, broken, overpowered, and then get taken, then get nerfed down to be fair along the way, as opposed to a character coming out and he just absolutely sucks.
I mean, that's an opinion for like. I'm actually trying not to be savage for this part, but like as someone who's probably an online player, that's probably okay for you. But as someone who's offline, like, you don't want to have an Evo Japan.
No, you
that
don't.
opinion
No,
sucks.
yeah, and that's essentially what was said. But but even then, I speak in the sense of the character at least being usable. Usable would be the best.
And which
Balance would be
character
the
that was
best.
released was not usable when they came out?
There
Fan
has it.
from Street Fighter V.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about
We
that
talk about Tekken, baby. Come on.
We're
We're talking about Street Fighter V.
For Tekken, there hasn't been a character that came out that was like that, and I really like that. But that's why I say I would rather a character be usable as opposed to like just being absolute trash water.
I mean, that's the thing, though, right? Is that when it came to a lot of the characters in Tekken, I mean, like, in general, like, this is un-Bandai related. This is just personal opinion related.
Mhm.
That in reality, if you want people to buy a goddamn character, break that shit, right? Put a patch out after to fix it, but make sure it's broken as fuck. Put it out there. Everyone's gonna want to buy it, then nerf it after, right? That's just the best strategy. You do that in League of Legends, even, right?
But
Everyone knows.
That's what I think exactly what they did. While Evo Japan was just a really extreme. Oh, you sound like you want to disagree with me, son. You better.
Well, no, I'm actually not disagreeing with you. I'm actually disagreeing with Alicia a little bit on that.
Isn't that the same?
That's the same.
Well,
Go on,
here's
take
the
more
thing.
history.
I'm kidding.
I'm with
kidding.
you. I'm with you, Eddie, on that. The thing about I feel like Evo Japan was a special case.
That was exactly what I was about to say. It was a really extreme.
What do you mean it was an extreme case? Like, dude, if you put out a busted ass character, everyone's gonna pick it.
Yeah,
but at the same time, can you really name another one that had like 8 of the same character? Well, not even 8, like 6. But
yeah.
But that's the thing, though, right? Is that we never had a tournament happen where the balance patch didn't come out before the tournament for the new character. Usually, Tekken has a month ban on the character at a World Tour event. They didn't put the adjustment out. They just let him rock.
But is
So
Evo Japan even a world tournament thing though? I mean,
that's
not
the
world
reason why it
tournament.
wasn't. That's why the ban wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And the adjustment didn't happen before then. But Evo Japan was one of the largest events of the year, and it just didn't happen for it.
I still kind of disagree because like going back to like season 1 with Jack and Dragunov and them, like even then there was still no really patch for them either, was there?
Yes, there was. Yeah, their damage got reduced by almost 50% for the wall. That's the reason why they got caped so hard. And then when it came to season 2, like no one even touched them really anymore because they didn't need to. Because when Jack's damage got reduced, what were people doing? The only people you saw still staying loyal to the character was like Saint
and big homie a knocking.
Even Dragunov got nerfed. Right? So it's like everybody got changed up, especially when they realized like, oh shit, like this is the only character being played this entire year. But at the same time, there were still 2 other characters being played. So they were like, okay, well at least there's Steve, Dragunov, and Jack. And then when season 2 came out, they were like, okay, everybody gets some nerfs. Bam! And then we had the new era of Akuma, where everybody picked Akuma, right? And it was just like, and there's always something that the game, like, because the game's all based on how much we play it, right? So it's like if we start to actually open up the game and look at the issues that's going on, and then it actually happens in a tournament scene, like a tournament experience, that's when shit gets adjusted more because it's for the whole world to capture that and blow it up. And I'm gonna put it out there though. When it came to Evo Japan Top 8, me and Cuddle were talking about it on like an Equinox stream, and she was like, and then the question came up where it was like, how many Leroys do you think you're gonna see in top 8 of Evo Japan? We all placed our bets. Cuddle said 2. Other dude who was in the call said 3. I said 6. Who was fucking right, bitches?
Damn.
I was right. I called that shit. I said, listen, he broke his shit. Listen, no one knows the matchup. No one can play. Like, we all can play the characters. It's easy as shit. There you go. It's facts. He busted. Yep.
Nah, I hear you on that.
But that's balancing. It takes a while, but they do a good job though. Like their balance matches are pretty solid.
What were you gonna say?
That all goes to me being right. I would rather. That's why I even said like Leroy was a little extreme, but I'm glad that he came out being useful and playable, just like Falconram. He came out playable. I got a bit of a question. I'm questioning his hitbox some, but even then, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he has a funky hitbox. They've already shown a bunch of examples on Twitter.
I need to play more Leroy.
I told you to do this. No one's stopping you. Literally.
I told you to do it for your homework.
No.
Leroy is awesome. He would. I think he would be the third character I'd play. Like as far as like mains and all that silly stuff goes, he'd definitely be third. I think Negan or Noctis would be second.
Biggest reason why I don't play more Leroy is because I'm too stubborn and feel like I need to get better with Kazuya.
Oh,
I
so
mean, I guess right now is a good time to play him. So that's pretty dope.
just go for it. Just the first step is playing the game. Play the game more.
Yeah.
I still want to main King and Armor King, but I want to get better at their grapples.
Did you try playing the game?
Not yet.
No, there's your problem right there, dummy.
I think the easiest thing when going for grapple execution is just like sitting in the lab and then just like literally going through button sequences, but doing it 10 times in a row. If you can do it 10 times in a row, that means you're guaranteed to have it. But if you drop it even on the 9th time, that means you don't have it. So it's like just making sure you go through it over and over again until it's like burned into your muscle memory.
Are you listening?
Probably not.
Man,
No.
Vanilla Swirl, go back in the ice cream machine, motherfucker. God damn it. Trying to steer some goddamn knowledge on your motherfucking ass every goddamn time he's zoned out. Come on, man.
Downgrade him for yogurt.
We've been
But I
trying
also
to.
gotta.
We've
I
been
also have to
telling
learn
this.
his combos.
We've
the
been
both of
telling
their
this
combos.
motherfucker this for 31 episodes. And he still don't listen.
I give up on all of that. So anyway,
Moving on.
I did also wanted to talk about like the frame data stuff, and as well as I do find it kind of odd, and I don't know if I'm just the only one who finds it kind of odd, but the stage was separate from the character this time around.
That's not weird because they advertised it like that.
I know, like, don't get me wrong, I get that, but at the same time, like, you have two other characters that it didn't do that. I kind of
Right.
wondering why was it this time?
Because if you ask me, it's because of the Tekken World Tour, and because the Tekken World Tour, God damn it, I forgot the place. I forgot the
Thailand?
name. Yeah, in Thailand, and the character that was coming out was obviously going to practice Muay Thai. I think they wanted to make it a real special occasion for that.
I mean, in general, money wise, like
It was
a
a
sick
money
ass
move.
stage. We're all gonna buy it. Like it's a sick ass stage.
I got it.
Yeah,
To me,
Yeah.
don't get
it
me wrong,
was a-
I had the season pass, so it didn't matter to me anyway.
I did not
I
buy the
just-
season pass.
Way to
I
go,
just bought
Vanilla Swirl.
the character and stage, but
Well, what did I do?
No, I just noticed what you did.
oh, you changed his name.
No, I did that.
It's official now, man. You gotta hold that.
Yeah.
Well,
I
shit.
was wondering if he was gonna notice.
I noticed it. I think I was just in the middle of my point when it happened. I was just like, okay, continue. But yeah, I think it was just a money move, and they really wanted. I think what the team. I don't know. I'm not one to speak for the team, but I'm thinking what they're doing is they're trying to have a character that has a martial art, and the character represent the nationality of that martial art.
Mhm.
For example, Yoshimitsu is based in Japan because he's a tentacle monster.
Alrighty then.
And he does kabuki poses. Don't forget the kabuki poses.
But alrighty then.
Things were
Oliver
said.
just hears some mad weeb shit and you just don't know what to say to it. That was that moment. I was like, all right, man.
Yep.
Oh.
There you go.
Too weird for me.
So, this is too weed for y'all. Oh, this is the line. Wow. Well, wow. I thought I was welcomed here.
I don't know, man. You're talking about hentai bitches real quick about Yoshimitsu. I don't know, Chief. Like,
What you
you ever see his feet? I don't want to touch them bad boys. Get them away.
I don't know where
Yeah,
they've been.
we all know you take the good with the bad when it comes to hentai. Don't act like y'all brand new to this. Don't y'all leave me on this island alone. Don't y'all do this to
I'm
me.
already swimming away. So, one thing. The one thing I did want to talk about, I don't know if you saw this, Alicia, but one thing I did want to talk about was the whole Murray situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, sadly, like, I get both perspectives. Right? It's hard. It's so goddamn hard for the dev team and a producer to be working on a game, and like at that point, there was no way he could win. Like in that situation, you know what I mean? Like it was people backlashed so hard on him for making one statement,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't even like he did turn sour about it, right? He did get hostile a bit eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time like around, it was like the first time around he was just being like, oh, you know what, like just try playing the game, blah blah. Like he didn't fully understand what the issue was,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the thing, right? Instead of people being rational about it and being like, okay, this is why, like, you know, some people were rational about it and they were like, yo, like, this is why, like, this doesn't work. Like, let's explain it further, right?
Like Murray is wrong, and this is why.
Yeah, right? They were doing it respectfully. But the problem was the majority of people were not respectful, right? And that's the thing, is that people were so hostile towards him that it became like uncomfortable for the world. And like, how is he supposed to respond to that? Like, how do you respond to the world being like shitting, like the world shitting on you basically? And instead of retaliating, being like, oh, you know what? Like, yeah, I need to look into this more. I'm sorry, right? He took the opposite approach where he was like, back up, like fuck you guys, basically. And I don't think either approach is wrong in that scenario. If people are being shitty towards you, like clap back, show teeth. Even if you're wrong, they have no right to be disrespecting you to that level that people went at, you know.
Yeah,
And
I've kind of had like an opinion like that whenever people jump down like a dev's throat. Like because I know I've talked to Jess about this, where like people jump down a dev's throat and like, if God forbid you defend yourself, all of a sudden they'll be like, oh my god, you see what he's fucking doing? He's attacking us.
yeah, it's weird. It's heartbreaking too. Like, and at the same time, like the biggest argument was like, how can you be a producer for the game and like one of the people in the dev department and not understand what the issue is when it comes to this, right? And the thing is that when you're in an environment where you're constantly worrying about hitboxes and modifying a game, especially when a new character drops and almost any hitbox could have a glitch out because of a new character, like you're dealing with so many other variables that when it comes to you making one adjustment or one change, and like you personally haven't really experienced playing that character to the full fledged that other devs in the team would have, like what are you supposed to do? And then even then, he got clipped out of context on his own stream. He was talking about Eliza's hitbox, and people clipped it as if he was talking about Kazuya, and they started roasting him for it. And I'm like, come on, man! Like, watch the VOD. He was not even talking about Kazuya at that point. He was talking about Eliza's hitbox being glitched. Like,
And-
people just wanted to go after him so badly.
And that's another thing too, because like I've taken like some coding classes in like my like during college, and like one thing I can tell you is that like when you see like all the lines of code and all that kind of shit, like it is so easy to lose just like one character, one misplaced character, and the whole thing fucking falls to crap.
All it takes is one character in coding to fuck the whole thing up.
Yeah, and so like when you're adding in a new character and you have to get it to interact on the same level as everything else, like the fact that they get them in a lot of games, the fact that they get them out that good, like they need to be respected more, because like otherwise, imagine like how bad it could be if like say one line of code goes lower than it's supposed to be. The next thing you know, the character's like right in front of the screen, like covering up everything, or like some fucking like crazy mystical shit going on.
Something, just
Yeah.
something going wrong. Yeah. But a lot of these people that are going after the devs for it, they've never even thought about coding a day in their life.
Nope. Nothing on 3D
And-
modeling, nothing on coding,
They-
like
they-
nothing.
they-
They act like they're
they
fucking
think-
experts.
They think it's as simple as you go in, make character, play game. All right, we're good. What's the problem here?
Yeah, it's just like done.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's also like about like being receptive, right? And the biggest issue is that people don't feel receptive, like they don't feel like he's receptive anymore, right? Because he was like, I'm done with Twitter, I'm done with everything, like I'm backing out. And when you stop being receptive to people, some people start to get even twice as hostile, right?
Yep.
And
Well, it's like that guy who made Fez, because that one stupid ass game reviewer, I forget what he said about him, but then like because of that and because of all like people harassing him on Twitter and stuff, he canceled Fez 2, even though it was in development, and then after that he like just retired. So it's like I hope Murray doesn't like do this, or he retires because of all these stupid ass people.
I
Nah.
don't think that it's like gonna go in that direction because he is a very strong-willed person. But I don't know, it's kind of heartbreaking just to see that happen in general, where it's hard to say, right? Because at the end of the day, he did clap back pretty hard, and then he
Mhm.
decided to shut shit down instead of being receptive to the community. But at the same time, it was warranted. Like, if anything, it was needed because people were definitely out of line. And there's actually one video that K-Wist made, and K-Wist's title for it and the thumbnail for it were so shitty, and I was so mad. But when you watch the video, the content, perfect. He hits it so dead on and so well and so like respectfully. He does it respectfully. But the title of it and the thumbnail of it are so fucking clickbait, right?
Mhm.
That looks like he's trying to like cook the motherfucker, right? And it's just like
It
this
is.
whole
Mhm.
thing where online people play hard because they know it's going to get views versus what they actually feel about the situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's like okay, now that I got you here, it's like look, shut up and listen for a second.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's actually what it was. I wonder if I can pull up the video for you guys. You guys can check it out later.
Go for it.
I
Because one
think
thing I was
Yeah,
gonna
I've
say
seen it
is
already, but
I've
I
seen
think
it.
because
No,
one of the
I
things I was gonna say is
appreciate
like just taking an outside look, like guessing at the situation. I feel like the reason why like Murray had to separate himself from all that stuff is because he probably like considered like I'm gonna get angry and I'm gonna want to clap back at these people. If I shut this now, I probably will make the situation like I won't get angrier with people and they won't get angrier with me.
it's
Should we
not the
found the
worst
video?
call.
There we go.
Yeah.
Right, that's the
I
most
remember
clickbait
seeing that.
motherfucking title and the most clickbait goddamn thumbnail, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
Yep.
he knew what he was doing when he did that shit.
Mhm.
That's and it's like I think I said it to you, Jazz. I said I think because people were doing this to Harada as well.
Mhm.
But then Harada had that "don't ask me for shit" moment, and then after that, people eased up on themselves. I'm thinking because Murray had just taken over the reins like that to the to the vocal majority that's going after him like that, he's unproven.
Well, that's what I said like way back when. Like he's doing a dangerous road, doing
Mhm.
what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking once Murray has that "don't ask me for shit" moment where he literally tells anybody and everybody, "Hey, shut the fuck up right now. I'm talking and you listen when I speak." That's it. Everybody's gonna go and be on his side again,
Well, which is
or
sad.
rather not be on his side, but they will treat him as well as they treat Harada.
It also
Because you know,
it also kind of helps so that he was able to turn it into like a meme.
mhm.
Because if it was just like
Yeah.
a random like pissed off outburst, people would just be tearing into him like for that.
Yeah, but even then, that goes right back into the moment for me.
Well, I feel like too, it's kind of sad because even Harada's kind of getting like kind of like they're getting on his nerves, but it's mostly because of the fact that everyone keeps demanding that Kiryu be in Tekken. So now it's like, because I remember he released a tweet that was like, I gave you guys this shit, and you're still yelling at me. I gave you guys this shit, and you're still yelling at me. It's like, you
No,
motherfuckers aren't happy.
well, he did it. He did that in the past. He asked about characters coming in, and then there's just like, yeah, we would like this character to be in the game, and then now, but it's like, all right, we got him in the game, and then they don't play the character.
Poor Lay.
I was about to
Or-
say.
No, that's Lay and Anna, because people were
Yeah.
asking, we want Lay and Anna in the game. Just like, all right, here's Lay and Anna. All right, thanks, Harada. I'm gonna go back to playing Kazuya now. Thanks.
That's kind of what happened though. That's crazy. That's pretty accurate.
But that's why
I did
but I'm
this. I
thinking-
did this for the other players, not for me.
Yeah, and it's like what do you do there? It's just like obviously we as in the community, I guess, don't know what we want. So they just said, well, we're just gonna do our own thing, and you're gonna like it. So they made Leroy and Falconram, and look at them, magnificent, magnificent beings, are they?
Unfortunately, like the people on the internet like that can be like just stupidly one-dimensional.
And Tekken's a 3D fighting game. How could they do this?
I know, it's amazing.
They're missing a whole ass
Dimension.
2 dimensions. Thank you. These people are weird. But yeah, there's no official way of eliminating the hate. Just reducing it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like
No.
from what I've seen, it almost feels like the devs have to numb themselves a little bit from the comments, somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Hell, even when Lucky Chloe got announced, it's like, yo, what's with this weeb shit in our game? So it's like, oh, you like big sweaty men? Okay.
Oh, I mean, the other issue was that everyone thought Eddie wasn't going to come in the game. Like, he wasn't in the game for the first part of it. So when they put up
Mhm.
Chloe, everyone thought that that she was replacing him, and they
Yep.
were like, "What the fuck?" I was even like, "What the fuck?" I was very upset about that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit like, what the fuck is this character?
Like, she's cute, I'm about it, but like, you're gonna replace Eddie with her? Like, fuck no! Like, I'm not
Jazz
gonna
mains
support
her.
that. Like,
I mained her in
oh,
season 1.
that's fair. She's cute. I get it. Like,
They still have nightmares.
But I was kind of going off of the K-West thing. Oh, something else happened also along with this K-West thing, which was Rip talking about something with what's the man's name? Flying Wonky. And doing the whole article about Murray leaving Twitter. And Rip was saying that Flying Wonky is very negative when there's no news. I was wondering what y'all's thoughts on that are. That know who Flying Wonky is before I say anything about that.
I think Fly Wonky, when it comes to everything, is such a major part of the Tekken scene when it comes to just creating content in general and managing Eris's site.
Mhm.
That, like, yeah, like, sure, like, the article was a little bit in poor taste, but out of everything Fly does, man, like, that's the thing, is like, I hate when we all shit on people, right? I think Rip is a fantastic person. I think his opinion about this is probably from any source would be the most valid, because he's just been here for that long and interacts with these people on that personal level too, right?
Mhm.
He actually talks to these people all the time. So for him to say something like that actually holds way more weight than what any of us could say. But at the same time, like, I think that you can't excuse I mean, you have to be able to let some things go, right? Like, yeah, like, Fly took it down. Like, he took down the article and he chilled out about it, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm sorry. That was kind of shitty of me. That's all he needed to do, and we'll take that apology and we'll move on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think that would, Alicia. I don't think that counts as shitting on the person. More or less, just shitting on the action.
I think that's the thing, though, right? Is that when you have that much power, like in the scene, it's about moving carefully,
Yeah.
right? Because the bigger issue with the article was that it was breeding toxicity.
Yes.
It wasn't so much that the article itself was toxic, because the article itself was very informative. It was just that it bred a lot of people who didn't feel validated with their answers and why they were hostile, with more reason to be hostile. And that was the issue.
Yeah. Like, it didn't help anything at all.
Yeah.
Whereas,
It's like-
everything else he's done has been nothing but helpful for the community, because it keeps us informed. But this particular thing right here was just not a good move.
I mean, he can't help how people react to something. And the part that I really respected of the situation was that he took it down. He was like, okay, I saw the negative impact it had. I'll take it down. Yeah, I worked on it and I put work in, but I can understand when something's not taken the right way.
Exactamundo. I agree.
Wait for Jazz to say the opposite opinion. Hold up, Jazz, you good?
Well,
You got something to say?
well, I'm actually.
Well,
Jeez.
actually.
Hold on.
Well, he has to start giggling
So,
first.
I'm of two minds of this, because I'm actually agreeing with you to an extent, Alicia. At the same time,
well, actually.
I've seen what Rip is talking about, though, when he talks about how negative he can be. And while I do agree with you that he took it down, he's sorry and everything, and we should leave that at that, there are many other times he hasn't done stuff like that. And that's because nobody's really called him out on it like Rip.
That's actually a fair point.
That's what I'm trying to say on that. Like, I totally agree with you, but I see Rip's point as well.
Oh no, yeah, that both of it makes sense. But I think out of anyone to, I think Rip's point is valid beyond any of what any of us could ever think, because, as I said before, he's someone who interacts with them on a more personal level, where he gets to know the people themselves and gets to know intent, versus us, where we're just the product of what we get to see via the content they create.
Hmm.
So
And plus, that's Law of America, man.
yeah, he's so damn good.
Top 3.
He's goaded.
No. That's all I was going to say on that. You basically said what I was going to say. It's just that last part on it.
Cool.
Is there anything else you want to add for season 3?
Yeah, man. Why the hell did Horon get buffed?
Yeah, that was a weird. I'm not going to talk about that one because I don't have the knowledge or means of that.
Oh shit! We didn't bring memes. Okay, well, let's move on.
I mean, if you scroll down,
We all got plenty of memes there.
I meant Horon memes,
Wrong memes.
like memes particular to the subject at hand.
There you go.
There you go. Boom.
Horror game. All right. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you. Thank you. You. We're good. Let's move on.
Oh, one last thing.
God damn it!
Well, technically
I'm
not
kidding.
exactly season 3, but at the same time, do y'all want a season 4 or a Tekken 8?
Ew, boy. No, I want to. No, I'd say a Tekken 8 would be better now.
Well, yeah, because now we could finally move on from the freaking Mishimas now. Going to somebody else's storyline.
Not really. So you still have Kazuya and Jin.
And Lars.
And Lars. I forgot Lars.
who I'm
Well,
told needs to be
Anime boy.
buffed.
It's okay. Lars is very forgettable. No, leave Lars exactly the way he is.
Those are talk about Lee. Lee's also technically pinnacle to the plot.
Nobody
earlier
ever
on.
thinks Lee, too. I feel bad for that.
That's because he has excellented his way into just chilling now. That's all.
I mean, it's sad, man. He's the adopted son that no one talks about. Like, that's literally his whole role. And then even then, it's like Lars is a half son because Hayachi pulled off that Zeus vibe, fucking anybody who moves. Like, ridiculous.
Stream new poll. Would you let Heihachi clap your cheeks? Yes or no?
Hell no.
As long as I
Get the
can
lava.
rub the top part of his bald ass head after, fuck yeah, bro. Oh, I could rub that while he gives me head, motherfucker.
I mean, hell.
Maybe it'll grant wishes.
hell.
This is the content I live for.
I mean, hell. Technically, Kasumi clapped his.
This is why I'm here.
But he was younger, though.
If we've never wanted you to feel welcome, I want you to feel welcome, Alicia. Goddamn. Like
Yes.
I don't think I can express enough just how appreciative, at least I am, of having you on here shooting the shit with us. Because goddamn, this is great.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Goddamn.
I mean, then again, the whole bloodline of that, like, listen, like, everybody be on Jin, but, like, Kazuya's always my daddy. It's ever since Tekken 2. Like, my sister and I had the biggest crush on that polygon-ass motherfucker. Like, he's so attractive. The scar on his chest? Get out of here. Like, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even
Scars
know.
are cool.
Yeah.
And that man has millions of them.
He also
Hey,
got
Archie.
millions in the bank. Okay, listen, he about it. He about that life.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
So what you're saying is that it makes a really good business investment.
Missing this pussy. What? What?
That too. That we can both be right. We're both right. We're both
Yeah.
there's no one's wrong here.
This is also Kazuya appreciation, to be honest.
Exactly.
I have no stake in any of this.
Man, you lying.
You're-
He's
you're
just like, I
the
want some of that
worst.
Kazuya bussy, bro. Like, come on.
No,
Don't be
no,
lying.
no, thank you.
You're all a little bit gay, okay? Everyone's a little bit gay.
Oh no!
Oh no.
It's a sickness.
I'm good. Y'all can have that. I can have all of that.
Bet.
She's like, bet, say less, yo.
Yeah, right? That's my man now, boy.
Shit. No, all right. Did anybody else answer if they wanted a season 4? Or
I thought you were talking about the Heihachi cheek clapping.
No, man, I feel that was a more important topic than season 4.
I mean, it was. Let's be honest here. But,
Oh my god.
Heihachi's butt cheeks confirmed for season 4.
God bless you. He has like that outfit, bro. Like all the men in Tekken have that outfit. Put the what's a Fudoshi? Yeah, put them shits on. Like,
oh
look at
no.
his glorious thighs and ass. Like
I don't need to see Tekken for Heihachi ever.
Alicia wants it to
It's
be
like
canon.
it's like DL.
Man,
It's like DLC. It's like
man, shut the hell up, Jazz. Everybody knows Tekken 4 Heihachi and that Fudoshi revolutionized an entire generation of gamers, and you fucking know.
Started a movement.
Don't you even sit here and lie to me. Just like, oh man, I don't want that back. Why you think it was DLC in every Tekken game afterwards? Because that shit sells, nigga. Because that shit sells.
It's sad how right you are.
all the hear is look at ass cheeks clapping as he walks, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Every time he moves.
Look, I'm just saying, if every woman in the game has to have a swimsuit, if they all have a swimsuit outfit, the guy's got to have a Fudoshi on.
That's fair.
It's fair.
It's only fair.
It's like Harada and Murray make a video of just like, we heard your prayers, everyone.
Oh no.
The bigger ass and thighs Heihachi DLC coming to you now.
Coming to you with G-strings. What?
Oh no.
Oh my God.
We weren't ready, no.
Not like this, no.
I'm gonna tell y'all now, the entire Yoshimitsu Discord would throw a block party for that. like me, Boom, Signia, Captain Falcon, everybody. We're throwing a fucking party for that. And there's nothing you can do to stop us.
I'm just seeing
Well,
Boom
like-
dancing, like in that gif you have, Alicia, just
Oh,
going into
Throw that ass in a circle, baby. Let's go. Dude, the bits donation? Oh my god. It's a rich dancing. It's everything important in my life. Everything important. It's so good. It's so good. It's to swing by Savage too. It's like the best kind. Oh.
Oh, man.
I wish you could do more podcasts with us. You are necessary. You provide the chaos that I can't get from these niggas.
What do you expect from Vanilla Swirl? Come on, man. Like,
No, this world is the fucking worst of them all.
Vanilla, say something chaotic for us. What's going on with you? Tell us something crazy.
Huh?
All right.
Come on,
Oh
bro.
my god.
Damn,
this
that was so
motherfucker-
crazy.
Oh
Yo,
my
he said,
God.
huh?
My
Rick
earth
Ross in
is
this bitch.
shattered. Yo, I'm shattered, bro. I don't even.
I don't even know you anymore.
Too far, bro. Too far.
We can't put that on the internet. They'll monetize us.
We're already demonetized. What are you talking about?
I know.
Wait,
I'm getting
hold on.
monetized? I'm getting paid for this?
Hold the fuck up.
That's my share.
No one here is even close to monetization.
God, no.
And even then, the only people that's even remotely close right now is Alicia and I, and that's probably about it. Jazz is on the way. Jazz is really fucking close.
Yay, Jazz.
Yeah.
Yay!
Give me money.
Oh.
I'm worried. Need money.
God damn it, Jess.
Is now a bad time to talk about how we're accepting sponsors now?
He said, "Fuck you, nigga," like 2 seconds ago, and then he goes, "Also sponsors." Like,
So about that Denny's money. So
oh, we ain't even asking for Waffle House money, bro. Damn.
no, we ain't there yet.
The day we
Start
we
off
get-
small, then you get big.
Yeah, we get the waffle. No, we get the fucking Dundies money first. What the hell am I thinking? Ignore me. I'm drunk or something.
What do you mean or something? What does that even mean?
He means he did a rail of coke, dude. That's what he means.
Exactly. Alicia gets it.
He Moopsy makes his own moonshine in the back of his house.
Actually, yeah. River crosses. Oh my god. Next time he goes, huh? I'm gonna hit him with a who like Snoop Dogg. I'll be like, who?
Oh no! I wasn't ready.
This is a great use of my Monday night. The best possible use of my Monday night, right here. I wouldn't have it any other way.
No. I guess we can move on to the other one now. Which is basically GameStop troubles. This is a story that's been spiraling like way out of control, and it keeps going. Which is where do I start off with this? Okay, so as we know, with Corona happening everywhere and whatnot, which automatically makes the second I just said it, I'm already dead.
Oh, that's right. You say Backstreet reunion tour. Backstreet Boys reunion
actual
tour.
fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I think he's talking about. I think he's making a Game of Grumps reference.
Okay, because that came straight out of nowhere.
It was just a random thing you say that to mean COVID-19.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like, even in context, like, there's barely any context when you watch it on Grumps.
I'm even more confused now. All right, so basically, with everything happening with Corona and stuff, all the businesses are getting closed or thing for delivery, et cetera, et cetera. But GameStop's basically saying that they're essential and they need their essential workers to keep working, which is getting them a lot of trouble with the government. And just recently, Massachusetts ended up shutting down all the GameStops down after they didn't comply to being shut down in the first place.
Was it like permanently or?
No, I doubt it was permanently.
Just
Okay.
while so long this pandemic is going.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Although the way they even figured it out was that they had an article about what their employees should be doing in order to like get the drive-in games or whatever that they pre-ordered, which was basically the customers needed like a code of some sort to give to the employees, and the employees would get like some gloves or whatever and hand off the game to the customer outside the door. Or if they didn't have gloves, they would get like trash bags, whatever, wrap it around their hand and give them the game that way. And basically, Massachusetts said, "No, you're not doing that. Stop," and shut them down. But they still tried to fight it for like at least a week because they kept pointing out that their sales numbers were basically going up, and they needed the traffic to go through to keep it going. Hold on. My notes are everywhere on this one because it kept going and going. And then they were also putting out an article saying that they were promoting the tech company to make sure that they can get that essential factor going, even though they're not really.
They really aren't.
And
Yeah, like people can just buy it online. Like they can just get a downloaded version of the games.
That's how I got Doom.
That's what I do.
Some people still love those physicals.
Yeah, I mean, like all the GameStops like are closed now, and then like the only orders they're allowed to do are the ones that are purchased like over the I think it's like over the online sales and over the phone. So like they are closed now. So I mean, if they're trying to rebel and be shitty like that and be like, "Oh, we're gonna be sneaky and do it outside the door. We'll hand you off with some gloves, bro." Like, shut the fuck up. Get out of here. We're not to be sneaky like that.
I just love that they added the trash bag part. Like that's actually in the little contract thing. They just wrap a trash bag around your hand and give it to you that way.
I mean, that's how they sold me some stuff.
That's weird. Just why would you do that? That's so stupid.
Just don't take the virus seriously and are worried about money at this point. Like I get like for me, like I understand like wanting to protect like your company and wanting to make sure that you're financially stable, but they have money to burn. And that's the scary part, is that like, and I know it's shitty to say that because you don't want their stocks to go down or whatever, but like, if you like in the long run of things, if you let your employees work there, let's say like if they didn't shut down for 2 more months or something, you would be in fact a contributor to spreading this. That's just facts, because someone's gonna go out there who's sick, who has nothing better to do, who's gonna go to your shop and pick up a game because they have nothing better to do, right? So it's like that situation. One stupid person. That's all it takes. One stupid person to come into contact with games on your racks. Not even the employee themselves. Games on your racks to spread it by accident.
Florida.
Florida's crazy. Florida is effing crazy.
Florida is in fact crazy, but you know what's even crazier? Hey Venom, what's with the 3-star 1 level you got right now, player?
What 3-star?
I hear police sirens outside of your fucking house, nigga. Explain.
Oh, well, that's just cops regularly.
That's just Mondays. You live in the hood, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, his name's Vanilla Swirl.
Man, whatever. I'll call it whatever the fuck I want.
Damn, it's actually crazy over there.
It really is crazy over there.
The past 2 hours, bro. Like, are they good?
That's what I was saying. I've been hearing that since you got in here, and I didn't want to say nothing in the beginning, but now we're like an hour and some change in, and
that's
you're
some
just
consistency.
Yeah.
They found his drug ring. Yes.
Jesus, like my house getting raided. Sorry, my bad, guys.
I'm getting swatted. It's fine, guys.
So yeah, SWAT team's breaking the door down right now, but podcast time, baby.
I've been here for 2 hours.
Oh, I'm sorry, 2 hours.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a good long time.
I mean, on a fun note, I haven't played Doom or Resident Evil 3, so I mean, I could just dip out now.
Yeah, you can.
Preferably.
Feel free to dip out anytime.
Yeah.
You've been great.
All right.
Yeah, you're free to do whatever.
Okay, so I love you guys. It was fun. Spending 2 hours with all crazy asses. 5-star bandit. I'm dead.
Feel free to come back whenever you want.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself in the meantime.
Stay healthy.
Yeah, you too, guys, and just don't be popping coronas. Don't be sharing corona. Okay, just be careful. It's really scary out there right now. So like, as much as you can social distance, just do it. Like, be hermits.
I've been doing that since before this.
God bless your soul, Moopsy. Like, doing the Lord's work over there. You conditioned yourself already. You good?
Exactly. I know how to take care of myself.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
Take care.
See you later.
All right.
What
So
a nice young lady.
Yep.
yeah, she was. We can move on to Doom now, because yeah, I'd say it's getting late and it's starting to start catching up on rendering this.
Yeah. I mean, good thing I'm streaming this. But anyway, all right. So, Venom, you think you can join with the review, or should I just go by myself?
No, I can. I mean, you guys probably saw my last message in the group, so I kind of just
Sure.
What the
I fucking hate the battle mode multiplayer shit in the game.
I actually like that.
It sucks. I don't like it. Like I just don't like how, it's just the Doomslayer versus 2 demons. It's just, I don't know. It's like even the Doom 2016 multiplayer was better in my opinion.
I never actually got a chance to play that.
And plus, I just hate that like the multiplayer trophies are kind of bullshit.
I haven't even bothered
Like-
looking into those.
Like at least in the 2016 multiplayer, all you had to do was like win a match, play a match, and do one other thing. I forget, but that was it. But then this one, it's like you have to play 5 of the demons. You have to get a kill with each of the Doomslayer's weapons, and then like rejuvenate health for you and your teammate and stuff like that. And I'm all like, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get the platinum for this game.
So I mean, I feel like we should probably add some context to this shit because I'm sure someone like Eddie doesn't know what the hell we're talking about.
No, it's all pretty digestible. It makes sense to me.
All right.
I don't have to play Doom to understand what you guys are talking about. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even though the Doom 2016 multiplayer was just like, Call of Duty paste, copy paste kind of thing, kind of dealy, it was still fun. Especially when like you can become a demon in a random power up. But it's just, I don't know, just a 1-on-2 battle is just, it's kind of boring. At least to me. I mean, if Moopsy finds it fun, then fine. But I just think it's crap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. The reason for me that I've been able to enjoy it is because I feel like it doesn't feel that like the demons don't feel that busted for me. The Marauder definitely gets the fucking downgrades that he needs in single player, but like, let's see, because if I had to say what the worst aspects are, maps are just like okay, there's nothing like crazy unique about them because a lot of the stuff is just kind of like it's a lot of the zones you see that like in single player just kind of like downsized a little bit into like a sort of an arena.
Yeah.
The demon selection I feel like could be bigger. And let's see what else. I mean, any other gripes I have, which honestly aren't that many, I feel like there's stuff that is attributed to like I guess that you could say like the game itself, because like this is a pet peeve, but it's also like I'm not ragging on this in any way, shape, or form. The like I don't know if you like ever have this Venom where like moments where like you just get cornered and like no matter which direction you go, even if you try to jump up, like you're just fucking stuck there.
Oh, you mean like the demons box you in kind of thing?
Yeah, like you can't do anything like whatsoever to get out at all.
Oh yeah. That's why I get like pissed off where like I'm fighting just like, not even like a mandatory group battle. I'm just like trying to get to the next area and there's all these demons swarming me and I have to waste one of my 1-ups just to kill them all.
Yeah, like
just so I can move on.
Yeah, like you get like boxed in by like a Baron of Hell and a Hell Knight and a Dread Knight and like fucking you're just saying like get the fuck off me.
Yeah, like they fucking sometimes they fucking cheat.
Yeah, but honestly for me, because the reason for me why the multiplayer works is because this is something from the single player, which is that they put in weaknesses to the monsters in the single player to sort of give them like weaknesses that are just like, or rather strategies. That's the word I'm trying to use. Like they gave them the monsters strategies. Like for example, one of the most obvious ones, if you've played, is like the big red head, the Kako demons.
Yeah.
Shooting a grenade into their mouth blows them up and sets them up so that you can glory kill them. They've like all monsters have any like a weapon that they is their weakness. I will say though that with the Baron, and the Knights, they don't really have anything that just kind of incapacitates them that hard. Your best bet is to just go with like with the barrel gun with the extra bullet attachments, and then just fucking mow them down. Which like it's awesome, but like it doesn't really stop them from like really like charging in at you.
Well, I feel like, and I know it's because they introduced new demons, but like I am kind of glad that the Hell Knights aren't as bullshit as the previous Doom. Because in Doom 2016, they were just like they will fuck you up.
Yeah, they stumbled less.
Yeah.
But, and one thing though I do kind of miss is how like the chainsaw would just like cleave through everything, like or rather, yeah, it would cleave through like every single demon. I miss that because
because this chainsaw will only at least go to I think the Hell Knight, and that's only on like a fully charged chainsaw.
Yeah, you need 3 charges, which is the max. before you can start to mow down like some of the heavier enemies. And like, cause you know the fat guy with like the spider legs.
Oh yeah, the Arachnotron.
No,
I think it's
no,
called.
like the guy with like the upper body. He's like a fat guy with a sort of
Oh,
what's
oh, you
what's
mean
his
the
name?
the,
Yeah,
the
with like
carcass?
like and he's got like a Kano eye and shit like that. Um, like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like that dude. I don't understand why they made it so that he needs to be like 3 charges to saw him in half. When
Yeah,
when
because
he
he's technically like he's like better than like the mecha zombie, just a little bit.
yeah, it's just like you think he'd like to be a simple 1 charge saw, but though ultimately, like for me, it's like those are a lot of like little details that are, they're just nitpicks, Um, everything else I just absolutely love. They definitely keep a lot of the flow, though. Compared to 2016, there is a lot more that you have to do. Because since you've got like the flame belcher, the way that you have the 2 grenades, the regular and the frost grenades, the way that you have the laser sword, like all of that stuff, it's definitely a bit busier than 2016. But I do feel like once you really get like a good flow going, then you can really start to like fuck shit up.
That's why I like. That's why I like it, because like if your chainsaw can't cut through the heavier, harder demons, that's when you bust out the laser sword.
Yeah.
It'll cut right through them like butter.
And another nitpick is that in like the first half of the game, when you have like the BFG and the laser sword, you can't really get ammo for those, which is a little bit on the annoying side.
I know, except for the when like you just get them, and then like there's those maps that give you like that abundance of ammo for them, so that way you could try them out before the game tells you like, hey, you can no longer use these weapons now.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna make ammo scarce now.
Well, and I mean, like in fairness, that's not something new. They've done that before in like 2016. The big thing, though, in my opinion, which is like the whole issue, is that they don't even have those ammo bullets. Those ammo bullets. What the hell am I thinking? They don't have any of those bullets like scattered around in the earlier levels, because even if you didn't have those like guns at the moment, they would still be useful when you're backtracking.
Well, because even in Doom 2016, if you chainsawed a guy, you could still get like BFG ammo for the BFG. But here it's like
You can only
there's
pick it
only
up.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only like one on the map, so if you get it, you better use the gun wisely.
Or just like beat the level and then store it for another moment.
Yeah, I just remember they would just give you BFG ammo like it was nothing.
Yeah, and like even then, I didn't use it like that often, because I was just like, I want to see the moments, like the best moments where you can just like see but nothing but like an array of carcasses.
Or especially just wanting to see like you glory kill a Baron of Hell or something.
I love to fucking save up my my chainsaw gas and just like slice off a Baron of Hell's head. I miss that shit. But I mean, like there are some cool like updates to some of the older monsters too.
No, there are. Like
Like I do love the Baron of Hell's like endoskeleton.
oh yeah, well, because he's just like, it's like his blood is just magma.
Yeah, no, it's fucking awesome.
Like it's just his skeleton, and then just magma, and then just his skin.
Yeah, and I love a lot of the ways, a lot of the new glory kills and stuff. Those are really cool. Something else that I really love is I love a lot of the weapons. I'm not gonna lie, when they introduced the meat hook, I was worried that it was gonna suck. I used that shit a ton.
Oh, I know, especially when I got the mastery for it.
Oh yeah,
I use that shit every time. I'm like, oh shit, I need armor.
I know, right?
So
it's like you're gonna die now. What?
And then I get like 30 armor, and I'm just like, hell yeah.
Let's keep ripping and tearing.
And the thing I like too, because like I know in 2016 Doom, all there were just like zombies. like I'm glad they brought in like the mecha zombies, because the mecha zombies were freaking annoying.
Well, because the mecha zombies, like, because that is something that that you're touching on that I do also appreciate, is that there you have basically 3 units that are like easy kills for an enemy. Technically, there's 4, but one of them barely shows up.
Yeah.
But it's like because you have your standard zombie, you have like the turned marine, which I love from because I like, for me it's I have more nostalgia for Doom 2 than I have for the original,
Okay.
and so like seeing the zombie marines, seeing the archviles come back, seeing the elementals of pain. Like I love fighting those dudes and killing them in the original Doom 2 when I was like 6. Um, I'm not even joking. uh, and like this. For example, this is how far back I go with it. Like with the elementals of pain and the Kako demons, my brother and I would make jokes about them, which was like the Kako demons, we'd call them like the raw meatballs, and the elementals of pain, the cooked meatballs.
Oh yeah, those like I love too, like the pain elementals just like spit out the meatballs and just throw them at you.
Oh no, the elemental itself was the meatball. The fucking lost
Oh,
souls
that's
were the
right.
fucking. Though, like that shit was irritating if you let them live for too long.
Yeah. It's the same thing with the arc vial.
Oh, dude, those were the worst in 2. And funnily enough, in my opinion, I feel like they're easier in this version. Although that firewall is kind of a bitch to deal with.
Well, they're easier if you can get to them in time.
Yeah, but thank God for the meat hook in that case.
Well, that's why I just use like the rocket launcher to just disrupt the summon.
Like either or, honestly. And
Yeah.
I do also like some of the original monsters, like some of the shit that just came out for Doom Eternal. Like the Prowlers, I do think is a really good update to the imps, because like one of the one I forgot to mention was the one that you mentioned, Venom, which is like the cyber zombie, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah. The
And
mech.
the robot zombie, whatever. We'll just call it that.
Yeah.
I love the glory kill where you turn their gun against them. like those are my favorite glory kills.
Or I like the one where you grab their like titanium claw and just like stick it through their head.
Yeah, like those are the glory kills that I love the most. Are the ones where like you can literally turn their body against them. It's like your body betrayed you, asshole.
Well, then there's those ones where like he breaks their arm to the point where the bone is showing, and then he just stabs.
Yeah,
stabs you in the head with your own like shattered bone.
Yeah, I love that shit. It's like, meanwhile, like fucking imagine if like Alicia's listening to us. It's like, I can't believe he was such a psycho. I know how to head it well. But yeah, like because the whiplash, the prowlers, the
I fucking hate the prowlers.
I am actually really okay with them, because those are another ones where I do the meat claw and then just blast them, you know.
Well, those are the ones that freaking box me in.
Really?
Because then they'll like teleport. They'll teleport, like one will teleport to the left of me and then to the right, and then I'll get stuck for a bit, and as they like keep swiping at me.
It might help if you use like the ice grenades more, because once you like freeze them in place, like they obviously become super easy targets. That and
yeah.
like on the prowlers and on the whiplash, the I forget what like it's called, like the Slayer Hunter or the Doom Hunter, like the big tank.
The Ravager?
No, although that one's pretty cool too. Like
I think they are called the Hunter.
Yeah, it's like something Hunter, but
the Doom Hunter, the Slayer Hunter.
I think it's Doom Hunter, but
Yeah.
basically like the big floating tank with the chainsaw guy. Like that is an enemy that I absolutely love. He is a great version of like a mini boss turned enemy, because I love the way that you can either kill him using the plasma, or you can kill him by destroying the base of his tank. I thought that's really cool. And then I'm gonna go into like this is one of my legit criticisms of the game, right? He is a mini boss turned enemy done right. Fuck the Marauder.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the guy with the axe?
The guy with the axe and the laser shield. Fuck the Marauder. Like, plain and
Yeah.
simple. Because, like, one of the videos I would highly recommend, if you're watching, is, like, check out a video on Doom Eternal by this guy, the Axeman. Like, he goes in depth into, like, what are, like, some really good positives and some really good negatives about Doom Eternal, but, like, one of the ones that he touched on that I'm like, dude, I absolutely agree, is that, like, the Marauder is, like, he's not a well-designed, like, demon. Because, yeah, it's awesome that you have, like, a kind of, like, a demon that's supposed to be your equal. The problem is, though, that he slows down the game hard. Like, the moment he shows up, it's like you have to put all your attention towards him, and, like, putting in that much focus on just that one guy, it gets really dull. Or really irritating, honestly. Like, Jess knows what I'm talking about, because he's seen me rage at him.
Well, especially since it says in the tutorial for him that super weapons don't work against him. It's like, well, why not?
Like,
he's already annoying as fuck.
There was a moment when I was, like, thinking, you know what, I'll just do, like, a raw BFG, and, like, he still blocks that shit. I was like, that is not a well-designed enemy.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
But he's
although the only thing I will compliment the Ravager or the Marauder with is I do like that move where he summons that, like, ghost wolf to attack.
I feel like the only real tweak you have to do for him, and this is even like it's not mandatory, I guess, like this or whatever words I'm thinking of. Good luck figuring it out. But like, because like this, when you first see the Marauder, he's not it's not the worst idea to have him have that whole parry shield mechanic when he's the boss. Like, since that's where all your focus is going towards in the beginning, it makes sense for him to, like, be super powered and, like, all your focus and all that stuff. If I was going to give id some advice, though, I would say all subsequent Marauders afterwards should not have the shield. They should make a version of him that is just like, he's basically like a fucking tank that is relentless. He has the Ghost Wolf, everything. Just get rid of the shield. Make it so that they are just constantly vulnerable.
Well, and I feel like the perfect example of a boss turned enemy would be the Arachnotron. Because, I mean, like, yeah, like, when you fight the final boss, and then when you fight these little versions of them, I feel like they're more balanced and fair.
And I mean, like I'm not disagreeing. It's just that, like, because they're from a different game for starters, and they are already, like, enemies that have been they've been established before. I'm not like it makes sense why they would be, like, really good versions of like the Spider Mastermind and also, like, the Tyrants, although I hate that they're called that.
Tyrant.
Because it's like they're fucking cyber demons. Just call them cyber demons.
Oh yeah, they are, huh?
Yeah, that's basically, like, they're basically the monster from the cover of the original of 2.
Yeah, it is the cyber demon.
Yeah, but, like, they are really good, like, smaller versions of those bosses. Though granted, I will say that, like, they've already been established. The Marauder, he's new, but that shield outside of that one boss encounter is just, like, so irritating. If you could fight them, if you could fight all the regular, just, like, high-end enemy versions without the shield, I feel like that guy would be like, the game would be so much, it would have way better flow.
Or hell, even make it to where, like, you could break his shield or something.
Or something like that, yeah. But, like say he takes, like, 2 blasts from the shotgun or something and it breaks.
Yeah.
But, like, just give us something where it like, because that's the big issue. My big issue with the Marauder is that he just fucking, like, stops the flow dead. And
yeah.
Meanwhile, well, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, and then as you're fighting him, the other demons just swarm you, and then you're still focused on him, and then he can deal, like, the final blow, It's like, God damn it!
Yeah, your focus like gets like way screwed up worse. Whereas like with the Doom Hunter, like that dude is actually really good. Like he has got multiple weaknesses. He still has a strong shield and he's still a hell of a tank, but he's not like so overwhelming that you can't like focus on your surroundings.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also he's affected by some of your other weapons too. Like you can ice grenade him, and you can also I think you can also BFG him, but I never tried because I always found it more fun to just sort of go at him one-on-one.
Yeah, and then
like
I
let
will
me
be
ask you
right.
this.
Or
Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say I will be right back.
All right, for sure.
So just talk amongst yourselves for a bit.
You need it, Jess.
Oh no, I'm needed. No, I actually did have a question for the both of y'all, because this actually is a topic that's been coming up every Markiplier's 4th episode, I think.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the overall story? Because let me put some context into this. Back in 2016, there apparently was a story out that was for the Doom guy to have a certain motivation. And it seems like, according to this game, that motivation is no longer there anymore. And is more going towards his comic book variation, which is more of a just being a force.
Right. Well,
And I was wonder what your thoughts were on that.
well, because it's hard because Doom's never been like a great tale, you know, like any of the other ones. But I can definitely see it being somewhat disappointing because what the ending of 2016 establishes, you have like a clear goal of who your main antagonist is going to be. And is it cool if I spoil, or do you think we should wait a little, like, till next month?
Yeah, let's wait a bit on that because the game's still fresh.
All right, but well, because like this, you have a clear antagonist set up for Eternal, and the way that the story goes, I'm just gonna say is they don't really follow up on it. So I can see the disappointment. For me though, I guess the best way to put it is I got what I wanted, since like I mentioned before, I'm a fan of the I'm a fan of the original version. And I think I even said this during like one of the streams where I had an idea for like I had like a 10 out of 10 requirement which never came true. But I still had insane fun even when I was losing to like the last boss. But while I can personally say that I wasn't super disappointed about what happened, I can definitely be like, oh man, that's kind of a missed opportunity. I can definitely I can get behind people saying like, oh man, I wish they did what they were originally planning to do instead of what ended up happening in the end.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think, because if I remember correctly, it's like, I'm sure that a lot of people have like these same 3 gripes, because I know one of them is the Marauder, one of them is the story, and I think the third one was the multiplayer. But for me, like I said, I don't feel like that mode's so unbalanced that you can't that it's unplayable. I am definitely a fan. I feel like there's just it's done well enough so that it's not overwhelming. But I guess you could I guess the best way to put it is it's kind of like, and I mean, feel free to disagree. I don't know if you've seen anything about the multiplayer, but it's like, in my mind, it's kind of like a sort of a fighting game mentality, which is like, you have to be aware of all your resources, you have to be aware of your opponent's timing, you have to be aware of like everything that like the bad guys are you're fighting against are doing, and you got to remember about like what your options are. I guess the best way to put it though is like, you have to be making like big fucking decisions, because you have to remember, like, okay, like, I'm seeing this monster, I have to remember this weakness. I'm seeing this monster, I have to remember this weakness. And then you're also having to deal with, like, specific player-controlled monsters, where their weaknesses are kind of there, but not as much as you'd think. Because, like, I'll give you one for example, like, the big fat guys with the gun arms, the Mancubus.
Mhm.
In the single player, you can use a sniper and blow out their guns and make them and weaken them.
Mhm.
Whereas in online multiplayer, I've tried, but I didn't really hit. I don't know if I hit them or what. But
Mhm.
the weakness doesn't apply to the character controlled monsters.
Mhm.
All right,
So-
I'm back.
Actually, I was gonna go more into that. Now, I don't know. I haven't played it, but is there a way to turn the tutorials off?
I believe there's something in the options, but I have not. I believe there is. I believe there is. I believe it's in the options.
Okay. Because that was another big complaint. Well, one of two complaints that is starting to arise a little more. Was the tutorials kind of telling you what to do instead of you figuring it out? And the second one, which I haven't really noticed because mainly when I watch on YouTube, they're cutting off those kind of sections, is the pacing of certain things. Like you have like the big arenas, and then you have the what's it called?
The platform.
Platforming. That's the word. And sometimes the platforming could get a little bit to the point it's killing the pacing for some people.
For me, it can get a little bit it can be like noticeable because like one of like the endings, one of the levels near the end, there's like some big jumps that you have to be making through and all that stuff. You're basically flying through the level. And there are parts where you can think to yourself like, I'd rather be killing demons. But while the platforming is done well, it can damage the pacing a little bit. But for me, it never became like super unbearable.
Alrighty. Well, that's really all I had as far as questions go.
How about you, Venom?
In regards to the movement,
The platforming, yeah.
I didn't mind it. Like it did kind of surprise me that oh shit, we don't have an air dash in 2016. So it did kind of catch me by surprise that yeah, we didn't have one. That's why we get one here. And it's like yeah, I didn't really mind it. I honestly kind of liked it because of the fact that being able to go around maps and looking for secrets and stuff. It was pretty fun and very rewarding.
Plus that the dashing mechanic in general has also made me feel like it's helped me get out of really sticky situations. What was the first question, Jess, about the story? Because Venom never got a chance to answer.
Oh, so what I asked Mrmoopsy earlier is that a lot of people seem to be having a problem with the story because if you go from 2016, there seems to be a clearer motive for the Doomslayer to go to versus now where it seems like he's just rip and tear. That's it. And there's not much else to the character.
Well,
and one thing I want to say first before you answer, Venom, is that we're trying to do this like spoiler free.
Yeah, spoiler free. And also for context, this kind of came up when Markiplier kind of brought it up after reading some of the Sentinel documentaries.
Well, the only thing I could say is that I feel like at the beginning of Eternal, there's just stuff that we kind of missed. And I won't go into detail because, again, spoilers to anyone who hasn't played 2016 and hasn't played Eternal yet. But that's all I'm going to say. It's just like I kind of want to know, like, hey, where did Doom Guy get this thing, or like what happened, kind of thing,
Like a weird time jump, which could have had a lot of information.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I'll say this since it's in the very beginning, but it is weird how he gets the ship.
Yeah,
I will admit I did think that was odd too. He's just looking at it like, huh? How do we get it?
Where did it come from, and how did he get it?
Yeah, but and like I'll also repeat this just for Venom, just in case he wants to add anything after hearing this. But I also told him about like how, I was I did kind of want to see where the setup for the ending to the original was, with 2016 and like the guy, and how it kind of doesn't pay off. Like I'm cool, like because I'm a fan of the of the original two. Um, I didn't mind the way it ended up going, but I would have also have liked to have seen what they were planning to do in the original story, for Eternal.
Hmm.
Well, that's why I wonder, because I know we're gonna get some DLC campaign levels. So I'm wondering, maybe they'll explain how Doom Guy went from 2016 to Doom Eternal.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be you know what? I'm not gonna say anything about that because there's a certain thing that seems to be going around lately with games like this that I'm not a fan of. That's starting to trend. No, well, you know what? Fuck it. There's another game that has came out like a couple months ago called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh, yeah.
And while the game basically follows from Goku not Cell Saga, Saiyan Saga, all the way up to Buu Saga. And it's like the main problem most people kind of had with it was that we've been through this before, like so many times. But I guess they were saying, "Oh, we'll go through it again with these big cutscenes, right?" And about 4 days ago, they just released a trailer for some DLC for the game, which leads him into Super Saiyan God. And I have a problem with that because I feel like that's what you should have started in the first place. It's like not as DLC. And I also think that if they do that for Doom, I feel like they should have already been in the game because there's so much of a gap of what the hell happened. Just my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they could do that.
Right. Because for me, it doesn't bother me that much because, like I said earlier, I'm not like Doom's not necessarily known for its like storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So that idea for DLC in regards to Doom, that's just more story content. Or not more story content, but just more content in general. More chances for me to like try out new levels and just really fucking tear a new one to the demons.
Which is perfect fine. Like, don't get me wrong when I say that. I'm perfectly fine with more levels, more fun.
Right. But like, yeah, I get you. Like on a narrative level, it's not great.
Mm-hmm.
I think though that like the difference between with Doom and with Kakarot, like you're not necessarily repeating anything new with Doom. Like at most you're getting repeating monsters, but everything else onwards is just kind of like this is all new.
Yeah.
Whereas like with Kakarot, we've been playing fucking games since like the Nintendo that have gone over the same sagas. That like so like even though Super is in most people's opinion like better than GT, but still kind of on the lower end. Like people would rather play that than just go over Z again.
Especially if they gave it the current paint. Like, for example, like I don't know if y'all have anything about Kakarot, but like some things get kind of fleshed out in a way that's just like, oh, okay, that's interesting to know, and that'd be very interesting for Super.
Right.
But like I really meant like just story wise in general. I don't like it when that kind of stuff is DLC. But yeah, you're right on that one.
Right. Let's start like sort of wrapping up because I know that Jess lives in the future and he's got to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to cut the Resident Evil thing for later because I have work tomorrow. This is on a Monday, not, unfortunately not like our Friday listeners.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah. Yeah, that we could just end the podcast with the review of Doom because I'm still playing Resident Evil 3, so I can't really give a review for it yet.
I am as well, but I was mostly just gonna let Jess have this.
Well, here's the question, because I was actually going to do an extras on Wednesday with Noob, and would you think you'd be done by then?
If I start playing right now, then yes.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you where I'm at. Like I'm at the part where like the Nemesis like first crashes through the wall. He's first. He's
Oh, you
barely
still got a
becoming.
ways to go.
I mean, yeah, but I'm glad to be able to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a few things in thumbnails, but I never like clicked on them because I didn't want to spoil myself. So I can probably answer to an extent.
Mhm. Which is
But-
fine. Like the extras, like always, is we don't always have to be all here. It's just if we all were here, it would be nice. But it's not. It's not like this one, which is a big one.
Because
Okay, yeah.
let me ask this, and we can like start wrapping up afterwards. But just let me ask you guys about Resident Evil 3. Would you say that because the biggest complaint I've heard about Resident Evil 3 is the length? Would you say that it's short enough that it's a detriment, or is it just enough, or is it long enough so that you can say I'd still buy this for like the 60?
See, that answer is kind of complicated because on the one hand, I'm kind of with them, but not for the reason that they are going after it. And actually, because y'all both played the beginning, right?
Yeah. I told you where I'm at.
Okay, so this isn't really a spoiler for y'all then. Really, the way the beginning happens is too fast, in my opinion. And it goes through too many moments. Way too fast. And I feel like if you had actually spread those out, it could have been a longer game. And
Now,
it could have had... Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say this. Now, I will. To be fair, I will say that I have never played Resident Evil 3 originally, so I don't know. I don't really know the pacing of it.
Which
That's
is
why I can't.
perfectly fair. That's a perfectly fair thing to say.
Yeah, because like Jess and I have played the original, and like they took out they took like a third of the game and squeezed it in for like the first like hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like not even that, like first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just like boom, 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 boom. Like, okay, slow the fuck down.
Wait, who's this guy? Wait, who's that guy? Oh God, Nemesis.
Kinda. But no, I will save that for Wednesday when I do the extras with Noob.
All right.
But is there anything else we wanted to do before we close out?
Well, I would just say, like, all in all, I give Doom Eternal like an 8.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah, I should have asked for scores.
Like it would have been a perfect 10 if it just didn't have that battle mode, in my opinion.
It's funny because I originally gave it 8.5, but because they did the battle mode like well, in my opinion, I gave it a 9.
Say that again. You cut out.
Oh, sorry. Because I was saying that I gave it an 8.5 to start with, but because they did the battle mode well, I gave it a 9.
Cool.
So fuck you, man.
No, Eddie, were you gonna say something?
Nah, I'm good.
Alrighty, I guess we can close out then.
All right. So this has been episode 31 of the No Name Podcast. Thank you for Rich and Alicia for showing up. One of them in voice chat, and the other one in typey
Stream
stuff.
chat.
Yeah.
Streams, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, hey, we all had fun, and that's the best thing about it at the end of the day. So thank you for listening. My name's been Mrmoopsy.
This is Cosmo Jazz. You can find me on all things Cosmo Jazz. Once again, thanks, Alicia. It means a lot. Hope everybody's staying safe. Hope everybody's staying indoors, enjoying your games and all that other stuff. GameStop, please get it together. And as always, have a happy month and peace.
As best as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Cover your mouths.
Yes.
With soap.
And we will ask you this one question. Does your soul still
God damn you.
Jess, you know you can sue them now, right?
With what?
Just throw a stick at him.
I just had to be an asshole one last moment before.
All right. And I'll do like appropriate plugs and shit on the Wednesday one. So see you later, everybody.
Word.
Take care.